All right. I'm I'm
We are
announcing the
so
public
back.
execution of Matayoshi.
Oh, goodbye. You are dead.
That was just the one thing. The one thing.
You had one job.
And now I mean just really just botched it. That's crazy. Hey guys,
Yo,
it's sharp.
it is 6 o'clock p.m. EST sharp. We are here and ready to make some week 2 replay reviews. And there were also a bunch of trades that happened too during week 2 that we can talk about a little at the end. I
Yeah,
think every division except for Swarm Division actually had trades. So there were quite a lot. I think there was at least a couple per division other than Swarm. So a lot to cover there.
that checks out. I like never made trades when I was in Swarm.
Yeah. Do you think it's a Swarm Division thing?
It
Like
might
Swarm
be.
Division is just
I don't
cursed
know.
to not trade?
I think Swarm Division is just more indifferent, or at least more willing to be like, all right, this is the team I drafted. I'm not gonna overhaul it week 1, right?
Mm.
There's like that weird level of confidence where it's like, you're decent, so you have faith that maybe week 1 was a fluke. You still want to give it another shot, and then you find out maybe week 3 or 4, like, okay, yeah, I should probably change something.
Well, the trades that we're about to talk about are technically post the games that we're about to review. Like they
Yeah,
went through
right.
after the
This is the
games that we haven't
first
started
week
today.
of non-free agent trades. I mean, well, you have free agency, but not
The
like in the open free agents.
second week.
Not including the grace period is what I should say.
Yeah, grace
Right,
period,
like
and then
before a
week
game
one
is played.
trades went through already.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
don't think there were many.
Yeah. What else? I guess we'll take a glance at the standings. Probably aren't going to go too much into it this time. We might wait until more like not next week, but the week after. So like after week 4 is probably the next time we'll give like a closer look at that. Just
Yeah,
because
I
that'll
think
be like
week
the
3 is when
midpoint.
you can start to actually get an accurate picture of the division, at least as accurate as you're going to get after
Yeah.
3 battles. But I do think that the midway point is definitely the best tell of these are the trajectories for the better players, the ones who maybe need a second look at their team
Yeah.
or to shake things
I
up a
think
little.
in week 3 you'll see the outliers for sure. Like obviously who's undefeated, who's on like who's winless, right?
Yeah,
But then you do have
there's
a lot
going
of
to be
like the 1 and 2s and 2 and 1s where it's like sometimes hard to tell
there will be a big
who's who in the
jumble,
yeah.
a big jumble of people who are just within 1 win of each other. But
Yeah.
then at least there should be a couple 3-0s and a couple 0-3s,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah,
kind
still
of
worth
more the
looking at.
downloads info. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now it's like you're either 2-0, 1-1, or 0-2. There's not too much to garner from that info,
Yeah.
but
Well, there won't be too much until week 4 at the least.
true. Nobody will be 2-2 until then.
Yep.
Okay, so we do have 4 replays. There were a couple all-star games that I kind of wish we had time to go over, but we're going to keep it a little shorter. And also there were no truant submissions. So we just said streamer's choice will be a truant division
Yeah.
replay this week.
We decided to go with just keeping consistent with having one from each division. It solves problems down the line too, where it's like there's always the complication of like, okay, well, if one division didn't submit one, which is the one that gets the second one? Might have been easy this week when there are 2 that stand out, but also keep it consistent, keep a real rule for it, encourage people to actually submit replays.
Yeah, plus I mean, there were 3 submissions for All-Star Division, and I feel like it's just the nature of how the divisions are, weighted based on like approximate skill level. I feel like the higher skill divisions are just naturally going to have more tight battles.
Yeah.
Not necessarily tight, like you can have really close battles anywhere, but I think you're going to see the most like I don't know how to. I don't want to say cool tech. You can have cool tech, but I feel like it's just going to naturally have more reviewable games.
Yeah.
So there were the most submissions in All Star this week, and if we didn't just say one per week, I feel like we might have to make that executive decision down the line, anyways. So.
Yeah. I think a good way to put it would just be like hustle. Yeah. All Star gets the benefit of both blowing the minds of people who haven't seen tech before, and also blowing the minds of people who have seen good teams and are astonished that somebody would bring something weird. So it's like you can bring the bad team and it's crazy because it's an All Star and you're bringing that team. You can bring the super cool tech team and it's blowing the minds of people who aren't as experienced, haven't seen those sets, or you can just have a really good game between good players. So that's why kind of everything funnels into like All Star has the most highlight requested streams because they have everything. Everything's interesting in All Star.
Also, it's actually kind of funny to look at the number of submissions this week in general. It follows exactly that trend, I think, of 0 Truant. I think there were 2 Swarm, 2 Hustle, and then 3 All Star.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, so speaking of crazy tech blowing people's minds of things you've never seen before, I guess we can just hop right into our first replay review.
Yep.
For the All-Star division, we have DJ Barara versus the Siderius. Man, this was a banger. I kind of don't want to talk about it too much more. I do think, press play so we can see the Terra caps. Do you want to take a crack at this?
Captains. I mean,
so we have Metagross, and then I think it's Sandslash.
The hardest thing to tell is like you have to remember like which
Lando?
of these are in line with the primary types.
Yeah. Let me double check DJs. I know that Lando is Terra.
So it's just Terra Ground Lando, which makes sense. Is Lando I? We talked about Terra Ground. Just being good
so Sandslash is not Terra.
That's just right.
So
yeah,
it's just Lando and Metagross.
Yeah.
So Water Metagross and Ground Lando.
Yep.
And I mean, looking at Siderius's team, you see the only resist to Ground really is Mandibuzz, and even then, I feel like something like Gravity or Smackdown is really strong into specifically that because it's. I mean, Mandy isn't really known for its Spit F. It can invest in Spit F, but I don't know. Lando doesn't even have to necessarily be specially offensive too. So
yeah.
I could see some set like that. I know the DJ is crazy enough to run Gravity.
Is this the Megazord Y?
It's Zard Y, Base T-Tar,
and
Mega Gardevoir.
Oh, Mega, yeah, that makes sense. I was gonna say like, is this a team where you just put rocks up right away? You know, just.
It kind of looks like it. There are a few defoggers, like Klefki, technically Lando and Sandslash, but you definitely want rocks up against the Zard. Especially
are you thinking T-Tar lead or on the other side?
Like, I would probably expect a Klefki, to be honest. I feel like a lot of DJs MO is like set screens and do something crazy with Klefki and then kill 3 things with the setup that you have. Whereas Siderius, I'm not too sure. I feel like maybe you would lead Metagross and get rocks. Maybe you would just lead something offensive. I feel like a Gardevoir lead is pretty strong here. It has a really good speed tier. The only lead, though, that it doesn't want to go against is Klefki, which is a likely lead. So
maybe even a Mandy lead. Like Aloe lead. Just kind of, even you're not getting rocks, but like maybe you just flip turn 1. I mean, Lando doesn't like it. T-Tar doesn't like it.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad. Klefki, it does kind of let Klefki do what it wants. I feel like maybe Mandy lead might be the best. Can't even be T-waved or anything by the Prankster.
Yeah. And I guess
can defog away screens. I feel like that's the safest, but I don't know. Let's see what they chose.
Gardevoir,
Guard and Zard. So we're just both wrong.
Megas. We should have thought. I mean, they're the Megas. It makes sense, right? You have to get them Mega early. Yeah. Always first turn. Click Mega, and then whatever comes.
I'm kind of surprised though because I feel like tracing, like keeping the trace up, would actually be pretty strong. Keeping like Sandrush, for example, or Prankster.
Yeah, before Mega.
Not sure. Yeah.
Maybe he was expecting Prankster, actually. That would actually make sense for the Gardevoir. If there was something there, right?
Yeah, you could like Prankster taunt the Klefki.
Yeah.
Oh, man, and that just almost dies turn 1.
But so does
Overheat's a different
that
beast.
Zard can't come in on rocks now. Like that's
True.
still pretty. I don't know. I mean, like you have Owl to Wish Pass. I don't think you're super concerned about Gardevoir getting low. Maybe you are with the sand. That's close. Wow.
Oh, so
So
just
he
sack
just
the
he just
guard.
stays in. Yeah, just sacks the
Yeah.
guard. I mean, for the burn, it's good, but I would almost want that Whisperer for once some of these other sets are revealed, right?
Right.
Like the Kyurem.
I think it's strong. I think it's hard
good.
to, because I mean, if you switch out, you're gonna die to the rocks that it's setting anyways, right? And you only have one more turn in sand anyways. I
That's
feel like burning
true,
it's actually
yeah.
not bad.
Unless you defog, but yeah. It's still a good target to burn.
Yeah.
Roar through the sub. Interesting. That's probably a pretty good mon to get out anytime that there's phasing and your regen mon comes out.
Yeah, that's just a free flip turn.
Rindo.
Not
Is
really
that
free
electric
because now you've
or no?
now you've lost your berry.
Con.
That's definitely for Zard.
Which one's Rindo?
Rindo is grass
Okay.
for the solar beam.
Yeah, that's right. Well, Con is electric, isn't it?
Yep.
That makes sense. So you get your wish off. But again, at least you're getting your regen.
Rest,
Rest on.
It's not Chesto.
Oh, to get rid of the actually. Okay, so I mean, you probably can't really predict that if you're saying when you're sacking for the burn, but ultimately, kind of sucks that you sacked for the burn now.
Yeah, especially because this could have wished up the Gardevoir here too.
Yeah, because no rocks are coming up.
Yeah, that would have been really nice to have in.
And I guess you're not Chesto because you're probably the sand.
Oh, the bad dreams value.
Ooh, I did see that. I think
hold
I
on.
came in
Roars
right
the
at that
Swords
time.
Dance into the Espathra. And it's low kick Espathra. Hold on. Okay, a lot just happened there. First of all, Darkrai clicked Swords Dance. But that's not what I care about.
SD Darkrai gets roared out. This Espathra comes in. Luckily for T-Tar, right? You got your Mono Psychic type special attacker, your sand still up for 3 turns.
Yeah.
You don't have a lot to worry about here. This is probably best case scenario to bring this mon in on the roar.
I'm surprised this even kills. Espathra has like 50 attack.
That's such a crazy bring. And I can't remember if we find out at the end of the game. Was it actually like a full physical set or was it just low kick? Like
it was max attack, max special attack.
Okay, right. So it was mixed.
Yeah.
It is like it's 4 times weak. He's heavy. Like it is
like it makes sense.
Reasonable,
It makes
like
sense.
that even with a really bad attacking stat, that does kind of like make up for that in general.
I'm surprised that came in addition to the physical Darkrai. Like physical Darkrai is definitely there so that it can Swords Dance and Drain Punch through the T-Tar. Instead of having to like rely on Focus Blast, and maybe it gets Aura Sphere, but it has such high Spadef and Sand, the T-Tar does, that's kind of unreliable anyways.
Yeah. No, that's a really good ring. Because even if we're saying that this is like a real set, he doesn't do max attack, but he doesn't do minus attack, and he just has it as an option. Maybe it's not an Oko, but still probably better damage than even like a Gleam if it's not boosted, right?
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
So I think it's not a bad bring, even with this set.
If memory serves me right, I do think that the investment does come into play down the road.
Probably, yeah.
So it is something for us to look at or to watch out for.
Speed boost. Too fast.
So fast. Switching into Mendy, I think, is fine.
And then a U-turn, no helmet, so you could probably calc off of that too to find out if it's physical or not. Which I think
I'm gonna guess that it would be. Yeah. I also feel like going into that might mean that it's either Assault Vest or it's maybe Scarf trying to catch like a modest Espathra at +1.
The Lando.
Yeah, the Lando, because that U-turn would have just killed.
Yeah, you're definitely modest running low kick, right?
Yeah, well, I mean that's what like it could be trying to catch, right? Is a modest +1 or and
like a
non-speed boosting nature. Yeah,
which it isn't because, or maybe it's speed boosting, but it's not invested in speed. So, so then you bring the Zard in. This is like a. This is a healthy Mandibuzz, though.
Yeah,
Like,
if it's specially invested, like SPDEF invested, I think it should live anything. Even the revealed overheat,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure it lives.
And, like, if you
But it takes
roost
a
on an
lot of
overheat,
damage.
too, like, you're nerfing your special attack. Right? Like, I don't know if I like bringing the Zard in here. You get a really good position. Maybe just, why not just bring the Kyurem?
Yeah, I feel like DJ would actually kind of rather deal damage to the Mandibuzz. Like, if Mandy is here to be the check to Zard, which is it's gonna have to be because Aloe doesn't have its Rindo Berry anymore.
Yeah.
You're actually kind of fine with
Well,
losing your Zard
you have Terra
to
Water
guarantee chip
Metagross.
on Mandy, because this is also the Lando check.
Yeah.
You know,
You have
like
Terra
being the
Water
flying type
Metagross,
and the
though.
potentially.
I
Oh,
don't
that's
think it
true.
has to
There's
be
Star
your
Water.
only.
Yeah,
I don't think that's
let's see
your
what happens.
only. Droughts.
Drop the drought.
Overheat. Yeah, not
Overheat
enough.
does 51.
And he does roost. Yeah, so he just roosted off, and now he's not even hitting as hard.
Yeah, that's got to
And then
be
he
some sort
roosts
of.
too. Taunt.
That's got to be some sort of maybe utility umbrella. Like that did negative damage.
Yeah. Or yeah, no, I guess
Crits
it
the
can't be.
slash.
Huge crit, taunt, knock. Well, we'll find out. Yeah, it is.
There it
utility,
is, utility umbrella. So that interaction can't happen again. It's gonna do a lot more
Yeah.
damage next
How
time.
much? So how much did it do without the
And
umbrella?
51,
with the
so
umbrella,
it should
51.
do a bit over 75 now.
Yeah. You know what's annoying?
What?
Walking Wake. You can't use utility umbrella against it because Hydro Steam isn't.
Yeah, it doesn't care.
Yeah, it's not like boosted by the weather. It's like an effect of the move. Is that because it's in sun,
Yeah.
it does more damage.
It's
not,
like Solar Beam.
It's not multiply. Yeah, so it's like, all right, just doesn't nerf the damage because they had to make it different. Oh,
Balloon
that is
Metagross
Specs,
still
right?
takes 59 from Draco. That's gotta be
Specs. Yeah.
Yeah. Or some weird like minus SPDEF Metagross
So-
if it's like fast or something.
Specs. I'm still wondering. I mean, maybe you're scouting, maybe you're doing something. You did get the roost off on Zarwai. I'm still just wondering why you don't pivot into the Kyurem when the Mandibuzz came out. Right? You just kind of.
Yeah, I
skip
mean
the
maybe
whole
for
song
exactly
dance.
this reason. Plus if
Maybe,
it's
yeah.
forced to if it's forced to click Draco and then it kills something and Darkrai comes in and starts setting up a Sword Dance on it, that could be dangerous.
Yeah.
But like Zard is kind of the same thing, is if it overheats, right? It's definitely set up
It's just
base for
sitting
the
dock,
Darkrai.
yeah. Honestly, yeah. If after the first overheat, instead of taunting, which didn't end up doing anything because they just swapped out, it could have been a time to just bring the Darkrai in, right? But
Yeah.
well, let's move on. So there's the Stealth Rocks are finally up, though. Oh wait, when
That's
did the
got to
rocks
be
go up?
special Terra Blast.
Were the rocks the turn before that? Because I thought that was
Yeah, rocks were up the turn right before that.
Which actually, so that ended up that coming in and roosting ended up helping because when are you defogging against this at this point?
Yeah, I mean it's got to
Um,
be pretty much exactly Klefki.
Yeah. So you said that had to be special.
I mean, it had to. I don't know for sure if it was actually FizzDef Sandslash, but it had a Rocky helmet, and this did 70.
So it probably was.
Yeah, and it wasn't like banded because we saw it rock
Yeah.
the Metagross. So Zard does live, and
He
then
puts
just
Sun
switches
up.
out.
So yeah. So now you just can't come back in.
So I mean, this is kind of the same thing you were saying though. Is why not have Kyurem against the Mandibuzz?
Yeah. Except now you're at 75% because the rocks.
Yeah, but then to get this position, he had to just sacrifice his Zard. His full
Yeah.
HP Zard is now essentially dead unless Klefki has defog and has time to do it.
Yeah.
And it can always be defog blocked by Mandibuzz too, if this is still alive.
Oh, does it block because it's dark? I thought that
Yeah, it
defog
fails.
was different.
No.
I never really thought about that interaction. I guess is Klefki the only prankster defogger? I guess you. Yeah, it
Torn
has-
Eye.
Oh yeah. So okay,
all
so
I can
he's
think
he's
of.
just clicking freeze dry. That checks out for specs. Based on what we saw with that overheat. with the utility umbrella. So it's probably just Spit F, Mandy.
Yeah.
And then, so now the Espathra is back in.
Yep.
We know it
And
has low
I guess, yeah, well, I guess we have a bit of a spoiler because we actually see the Kyurem going first here.
Oh, yeah, that is not.
And just one-shotting the Espathra because it's not speed invested.
Would it outspeed if it was?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
It's 105.
Yeah. I forgot it was that fast. I just think of it as like speed boost. It's like, oh yeah, no, that speed boost ones are fast enough.
Yeah.
Speed
Oh
boost.
yeah, Whimsicott. That's right, Lee. I think maybe like Volbeat and Illumise have defog too, but it's a bunch of shitters pretty much.
Yeah. So that was like a chicken for protect, right? It was like, are you expecting the protect for the speed boost and just clicking the move, or is he expecting me like? I think that's what the mind game was there, and
maybe
Sid knows that it's not, right? Like, Sid knows what he's doing. But I think for DJ, it's kind of like, is he gonna take the bait where this could be a pretty obvious protect step? He's used one move, and it was on a 50% T-Tar on a move that's quad strong against it. I think you could be completely uninvested in an attack and still kill T-Tar from the range that it was at. I think it was at like 50%.
I think it was at like 70.
Was it? Well, either way, I don't know if killing T-Tar like reveals as much about the set as Sid knows about the set. So going just straight for the freeze dry is ballsy, but it worked. I mean, if
let me do a calc right now while we're.
Well, we can go back and check to see what health it was actually at.
Okay.
Before. But let's see here. So freeze dry doesn't Oka the Darkrai, so he's gonna set up. No Encore on the Klefki. So interesting. He's done.
You can't Encore the Darkrai.
That's true, yeah. But I was just gonna say like Klefki doesn't have it. I'm just trying to think of like why like Klefki on the SD. What he's expecting.
Yeah, it's got
like a fairy move.
It's got a screen here.
Yeah.
Or just click play rough. Yeah.
Or just go back to Kyurem and take another 25%. That's another.
Yeah, why not?
There we go. So
there we go. There's Kyurem.
That's like the second time he's done that. Yeah, so maybe he thinks the sub, but again, like, you're not hitting through the sub anyway. You're just dead. I don't know.
I'm not too sure. It does feel like DJ's starting to fumble a little here. If this is still Scarflando, like I was predicting earlier, it might be able to do something here.
Just like U-turn, and then if it doesn't kill, just come back in and Quake or something.
Yeah, U-turn into just spam ground move would be strong, and it is just Scarf.
And the Zard's dead.
It's okay.
Actually, this is, and you just bring the Lando back in. That's actually kind of clever.
Mm-hmm.
And now he goes for the Earth power. Wait, so he is special.
Huh? Interesting.
I mean,
we're
doing that much
check at the end that this wasn't Cheer Force.
Yeah. Doing that much to Aloe, though, like probably Fizdef Aloe. Maybe that's why you bring it too, because you're expecting the Fizdef Aloe. But
just sacks the Darkrai. Damn. I feel like the out here was it had to be Sucker Punch. Oh, hold, you get a
there's the
toxic.
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna matter. You only have 2 turns left.
Protect.
Okay, 3 turns left. Hold on.
Oh, wait.
Out and double protects.
Yeah, I think I remember the end of the game. That's what it was. If it got a double protect, it actually could have made a difference.
Maybe, yeah.
And I think he could have won because double protect puts him in range for the bullet punch that's coming now, right? Yeah, and he was like just short of that.
Yeah,
so if he got a second protect, the bullet punch kills. I don't know if
Metagross actually beats Clef. I think what you have to do is you actually have to sack the Metagross and then go for another double protect against the Lando, so it dies to Toxic, and then Aloe can 1v1 the Klefki.
It can?
Because I think Metagross can't 1v1.
How does it 1v1 the Klefki? It has flip turn.
Yeah, literally just
wish to
31 times.
Wish protect. I guess.
I mean, does check the
unless he has like I was gonna check to see what it's. We didn't see it use anything. It came in like 3 times.
Yeah.
If
it has toxic, then it was just over.
Yeah.
You're looking at the wrong team still.
Oh shoot. Wait,
you're still looking at the wrong team.
It's because it's above everything.
Okay, I'm
Or
on 6.
is Klefki.
There we go.
Play rough, flash cannon.
Maybe you would have been able to go for Spadef drops with flash cannon. Maybe it's RNG from there. It is leftovers though. Actually, I think the play is fish for attack drops from play rough, so that your leftovers start to out heal the flip turns.
I was gonna say because Ala is pretty shit offensive stats.
Yeah, well, it was 75 attack or something like that. It's actually not bad.
But you might already kind of outpace flip turns with lefties.
Yeah, it's Spadef though, which is. So let me check. So can you just double check for me that there's no attack investment on this Elo?
On the Alo, back down. It is no.
Okay, how much do you think flip turn does to Klefki?
Is relax minus attack or minus speed?
Minus speed. How much do you think flip turn does to Klefki?
With no investment.
Spadef Klefki.
And in this Klefki, like 12 to 15 maybe.
See, this is where I think Alo is so underrated. It does 17 to 21.
Huh. That's more than I'd expect, yeah.
Yeah, so hold on. If I throw the leftovers on this, it's a possible 7-hit KO. So obviously, like, that's not good.
Yeah.
But what's Klefki doing back? I mean, Play Rough does 12 to 15. Flash Cannon does...
And could miss, too.
Could miss. Flash Cannon is 11 to 13. So Play Rough is your best move.
Well, Flash Cannon's resisted, so yeah, you're obviously...
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, but I mean, Alo just has worse Spadef than defense, so sometimes it's good, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, Play Rough is just the play going for attack drops, and that's a pretty low chance. So I feel like Alo actually wins the 1v1. So if he gets that double protect, I think it might have been over. You may have needed another double protect on Alo. So it was unlikely, but I think in that endgame with Alo versus Clef, I think Alo wins.
Yeah. And I'm wondering... It wasn't defense Klefki though, which might lead me to believe that in the alternative where you get the double protect on Alo, which you still have to get a double protect at some point. I think Metagross also still probably 1v1s the Klefki. Like uninvested Klefki probably.
I don't think so. What's the invest on Metagross?
Oh yeah, I forgot we checked. I just want to see what he was.
Because it was at like 40%. Remember?
It was like 44 or something, I think.
It took like 59 from the yeah.
So
it has Bullet Punch, Terra Blast, Rocks. Second team slot 5.
It's max attack.
It's adamant, but it doesn't have a move to hit it.
Terra Blast.
Oh, so it was actually physical Terra Blast.
Yeah, it's Terra Blast Water is probably fine.
Yeah, that's the best move to hit.
It is, and it's not, and it only has Light Screen. It doesn't have Reflect, and it's not Fizz Def invested at all. It's just HP. Can you calc that? Can you just see what?
Yeah.
Adamant,
Terra Blast when your Terra Water does 50 to 59.
If Flip Turn's doing 21 or whatever it was, I think that's probably stronger.
Yeah, there is a chance. KOs. It is an 80% chance to 2-hit KO after lefties. But Play Rough when you're at 41. Play Rough is... And there was no leftovers here, I believe. It's a 10% chance to 2-hit KO. So, yeah, Metagross does win those. Oh, but it's slower, actually.
Metagross is
slower. So there's 2 chances for Play Rough to drop the attack before the Terra Blast kills.
It's 44 speed. Is that speed crept to Klefki?
It is actually exactly crept by 1. Wow, so it is faster. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a really good shot. It's a really good shot for Metagross to win there. You're right. I did underestimate it.
But either way, you need to get the double protect, which didn't happen. So.
Oh, you can't drop Metagross's attack. That's right. Yeah, clear body.
Yeah.
For Gore.
His body's clear.
It's so clear.
And you can miss Play Rough. And also, Klefki takes a little bit of rocks damage when it comes in too. Not a lot, and I think it just heals it off with lefties.
That is actually relevant. I think.
I guess, yeah, because it comes in on revenge. It doesn't swap in and lefties up.
Yeah, it doesn't heal it off.
So
after rocks, it's a guaranteed 2-hit kill. That's actually really funny.
Because it negates the lefties that puts it back to not a 2-hit KO.
Yeah.
He made the right play. He's just not good enough to protect twice. Like, it's just a skill issue.
That's just a skill issue. So Siderius, just get better at double protecting next time.
Yeah. Spend some time.
Maybe you'll win some game.
But
I don't know, man. This was a crazy game. So yeah, double check the Espathra.
I wanted to also check Lando, because I thought that it did it. I thought it was like mixed or something. But maybe it's not. Maybe it was just fully. No, it is mixed. Earthquake,
Mysterious
Earth Power,
nature.
Weather Ball, U-turn. 252 attack, 156 attack.
That's pretty interesting, to say the least. So it wasn't trying to catch like a non-speed boosting nature Espathra at +1. It was kind of just trying to trade some damage. It was okay with taking one hit and then switching out.
So what I'm wondering then is, I'm guessing, I think yeah, so he was right with the Aloe at least being max defense. Earth Power is the button to click there.
Yeah.
Is that the only time he just kept clicking it? Who else was he clicking that against? Was it just Aloe?
It was just Aloe and Metagross and whatever happened in the end game. Like it U-turned once and then just spammed Earth
How
Power.
did it go down to 10?
It took a bullet punch.
Oh, it really was just Aloe, basically. I'm just wondering if there was an Earthquake that could have been clicked instead, but it really was just only Aloe. You wanted to check the Espathra. It was Specs low kick, by the way.
Choice Specs low kick with
Quiet
Trick,
nature.
Protect, Lumina Crash. Max attack, Quiet Nature. Hold on, I gotta check what speed this Espathra actually had, like what number it has. It's 4 speed quiet.
Quiet. I have no clue.
It has 222 speed, and then the Lando has what, 100 speed?
Was it invested? I forget.
I think the Lando was
100.
Also
split, yeah.
Yeah. It outspeeds the Espathra by a good amount.
Serious
because
nature.
of the quiet. Yeah.
Trick?
Crazy.
Trick Espathra
Double
is
check
actually...
for me the yeah, Trick Espathra is pretty cool. Can you double check for me the ability on Lando?
I saw it was Sandforce.
It was? Okay.
Yeah.
I just don't know if we actually checked it. Yeah, okay. We're chilling.
I saw it when we were looking through it. It's actually interesting because he also brought Protect, but also it's like that trick is your speed boost as well. Right? Like, so like you get more than just tricking, like even if you're just putting it on a defensive mon or something that's coming into to maybe, encore you or whatever. That's I hadn't really thought about that. Like that synergizes really well with speed boost. And then like you can also just have a Specs speed boost user if you're not tricking it.
True, you can just have a Specs low kick user.
Yeah, true. I mean, even better. But that's great.
I think it makes sense. The game plan with the Espathra was definitely first time it comes in, bait in the T-Tar and start clicking low kick so that the second time it's in, you can trick. And I think that's interesting.
Right. You bring like the
and actually, I think it's unfortunate for DJ that he roared into the Espathra. Because it's so unassuming.
Well, right, yeah, because he didn't choose to put Espathra in, which might make you think like, oh, what is he got up his sleeve?
Yeah, it brings in Espathra with no red flags. No alarms are going off because you brought in this Espathra, not your opponent.
Yeah,
so actually,
I
pretty interesting.
100% there. That's a super unfortunate situation.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that like
Focus Blast does to motherfucker. Yeah,
it's one of those things where it's like the good RNG, quote unquote, like is actually like what kind of screwed you over, or it's like you think that you ended up in a good situation but you didn't. It's like when you get like a first turn freeze and it's like, oh cool, now I guess I have a free turn to like set up or something, or like I wasn't gonna stay in, but hey, you know what, I got the freeze, so this might be my best option. and then they turn one thaw and kill you or something.
Turn one
like
thaws and crits, and
it's
yeah,
like,
you die.
Yeah, it's like awesome. Okay, so I would have preserved this if I didn't freeze you. I would have like made a smarter decision. But the fact that you got frozen made me do something that then lost to a 30% chance. So,
Yep, been there.
So, yeah.
Anyways, so this was a really crazy game. I'm glad we got to review this one. Some insane tech. I think people were kind of not so, I don't want to say like mean. I don't think people were mean to Sid about the sets, but they were like, dude, what are you doing? Because realistically, what are you doing? Right?
Shit. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, these are the two chefs, I guess, of the division. They do be cooking. And I'm glad we got to eat this meal with them today.
I know Sid definitely cooks some interesting stuff. But when I was thinking of the matchup, I kept thinking that the low kick Espathra was on DJ Barrara's team because it like honestly it seems more like something that he would do. Sid usually does really creative sets that still like are really good and make sense, whereas DJ Barrara, I mean, obviously they're still really creative and sometimes good. But that sounds to me more like a who thought of this like set.
Yeah.
but
yeah.
But I mean, hey, you know what?
I mean, he's got the artist avatar for a reason, right?
Yeah, that's true.
He's out here using Pokemon Showdown as his canvas.
Dre says, "All right, gotta go. Really hope I don't see my game when I come back. I don't know what game, if that was on here. I don't know. Was it submitted? Who knows?
I don't remember, but I don't think you have to worry, Dre. I don't believe are going over your game because we're going over this one instead. It's our hustle game.
Another
Max
Kyurem,
versus brother.
Another Metagross. Another Gardevoir. And another Mandibuzz.
And another Mandy. What the?
That was like last week where you had like 4 of the same mon.
Yeah.
I think it was Excadrill in every game except for one.
Okay, so
I'm trying to remember the whole teams here, what I thought of them.
Yeah, looking right off the bat, I'll double check the Terra.
I remember liking Greninja, so like that might have been one of
them. We have Terra Stila on Max's team, and on Brother's team we have Terra Jolteon.
Ground Stila and Ice Jolteon. Ice Jolteon makes sense.
Yep.
It's just the best one to run on it. Ground
There's
Stila
no ground type though, so what's Max's ground type though? Actually,
the Stila.
He has.
It's literally the Stila.
He has Flygon, so I guess that's what the what the Terra Ice is for.
Yeah, but also just Bolt Beam is. You don't need it for a specific.
Yeah, Bolt Beam is good, but you don't want to be clicking Terra Blast if you can click Thunderbolt.
Yeah. But the Stila is ground. It's Terra ground. So.
True. So that is helpful.
Yes, it turns out Battle Bond Greninja can be female now, but it still can be shiny.
Oh yeah, that's right. We had this conversation.
Yeah. Which I think is a change, because I don't think you used to be able to put Battle Bond on regular Greninja, and you had to use like the Battle Bond form one. And I guess when they removed that, they let it be any gender. But if you try to do shiny, it says it has to match the event.
I don't know.
Whatever.
I don't really care.
Yeah. Who leads here?
I feel like
you got a couple good options on Max's team. You could do Dunsparce if you're doing like rocks.
I was gonna say Dunsparce. Yeah, worst
Granted,
case,
if it's hazards,
off players get rocks.
Petrarunt gets T-Spikes, right? Or does it?
No,
it doesn't.
What I'd be worried about is not leading something that can beat Jolteon, because you have no ground type yet. So right. I feel like Gren is off the table.
Maybe
I feel like it's either got to be Stila and get the Terra off, or it's got to be just start something with Spadef that doesn't just drop to a Thunderbolt, like possibly to Dunsparce.
Because really, what like the Steel Flying, it's good for Gardevoir, but you also have Petrarunt for Gardevoir. Yeah, Psychic too. I'm just trying to think, is normally throwing away your Steel Flying type right away to make it ground type might not be the best option, but honestly against this team doesn't look that bad. I mean the fighting type is already hitting you neutrally, so that doesn't change. The Steel type, I guess Metagross.
Yeah, you're worse than a Metagross, and you're worse than a Gardevoir.
Yeah.
And I do think the guard matchup is looking kind of tough without the Steel type too.
Yeah.
So I think we see the Dunsparce.
Petrarunt at least. Petron can deal with the fairy side. Greninja can come in on a psychic.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm
Do
assuming
you
it's
think?
Mega, right? So it's not gonna be a
I'm
choice.
pretty sure. Yeah. Do you think Petron lives a hyper voice into psychic?
Probably not. No, if it's Mega,
It's got to be
then,
like
yeah.
full SPDF
Yeah.
if it is. Not sure.
Well, luckily it doesn't
Let's see
really have
what.
to invest in defense to be able to handle the physical mons. So I don't think
Let's
I
see
don't
what
think
we
it needs
got.
to run max SPDF. So we did get the
It is
Dunsparce
done.
into the Metagross, and this
Metagross.
was not a Terra Captain, right? Or it is.
Right. No, it's
It's
not.
water.
It's not.
It's just not a Terra Captain.
Yep.
Cheating. Maybe he forgot when he was building the team.
Maybe it was back then. Maybe there was a trade.
Yeah. Or
Let me double check.
maybe it was like a copied from another set. It's actually just the exact same set as
Yeah.
the Metagross on Sid's team.
Okay. Metagross has actually since been dropped, and it was a Terra Captain back then.
Oh, so in this game it's a Terra Captain.
Yes.
Okay.
It was dropped for Iron Treads, which is the new captain.
Treads was available? Did that
Yep.
get traded away from someone?
Don't think so.
Wow, that's surprising. I feel like that is not a mon that would
It's
usually
usually in pretty
survive
high demand, yeah.
a draft that long. Yeah. Well, anyway, so you get the glare off right away. You know what?
Yeah, you trade your item for it. That might be worth it, though.
Glare.
And you both rocks.
Glare to Dunsparce with Feeny an interesting combo.
I mean, if the plan is to lead it,
Yeah,
you don't have to care.
but just in general, it's one of those things. Just kind of like that's what the mon does. He just clicks Glare, and then you have a mon.
Oh, Skyhub says it was dropped from someone.
Oh, it was okay.
Psychic
Heal
Noise
block.
is actually pretty
that's
nice.
smart, yeah. But then again, okay, after you've boom bursted and done absolutely nothing,
Yeah.
you're probably not staying in anyway, right? And it's with lefty sealing it off. He's not gonna stay in a roost, so it doesn't make a huge difference there. Maybe he was thinking like he would have ground coverage or something, but full para. That's a good swap there. The SD Protean Gren. Return. Oh,
Interesting.
I remember seeing this.
Return?
I had never thought about that, but that's actually I remember seeing that and being like, oh, that's actually a really cool tech.
Mhm.
Because
I wonder if being Battle Bond increases your friendship level. I know it doesn't.
I think it implies that it's already at the max.
Yeah.
That was smart, going return and then hitting the liquidation for the Metagross. I wonder if Loki probably does more there because you don't have stab on water anymore, and he's heavy as hell. Unless he's running light metal, then he's not.
True. It could be. Yeah, low kick's probably the play, but that's okay.
Yeah.
It was on the Switch, so.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
And
no,
then
it wasn't.
that's Scarf.
Just died a Scarf
Yeah,
CC. Yeah.
that's tough.
You've got to see that coming, though.
Yeah, when he brings in that
Well,
Annihilate on you.
Maybe not, actually.
After you've already SD'd though, Annihilate usually doesn't run Fizz Def. He'll like bulk up. So I guess you're immune to the stab return. But like, why else are you bringing the Annihilate in?
Yeah, I feel like, though, at that point, even if you get a hit off, like, you're not going to kill. Gren has, like, barely 100 attack, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. It's very
You don't
mixed.
kill if it's
And
HP
then you just
invested,
drain punches.
and it drain punches it all off, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there's much value to staying in there.
That's okay. You do get the info that this is guaranteed Scarf, and you can start pivoting around. Now that Metagross is gone, I feel like, it's unlikely that anything is going to mess with this parting shot now.
Yeah.
So you can just freely parting shot around, which is pretty good for you to start getting Rocks Chip.
And I guess he wasn't running like poison coverage or anything for Gardevoir. So maybe he didn't.
You don't need coverage, honestly. Its defense is so low that you can return through it.
That's true. I guess stab return. I was just thinking if you might want to keep it for the Gardevoir, but I don't think you needed it for that.
Okay, no poison on the poison jab. It's revealed helmet, and
it's revealed telepathy Finny.
Telepathy, interesting.
So he does not want the Misty Terrain for his team of guy who poisons and then confuses you, and guy who stares at you and makes you paralyzed. Another psychic.
Okay, another psychic noise. I do think it's good into the Dunsparce if you can't end up getting like a Calm Mind off and breaking through it.
Yeah, but he knows he can roost next turn, right? I mean, Gardevoir knows that he can wait a turn before roosting. So wouldn't you expect the glare first anyway? Maybe you throw like a wish out or something. I don't know.
I think you Hyper Voice first.
Well, either way, I'm just saying, do you use Psychic Noise on that turn when he doesn't even have to roost yet, and then you just get paralyzed? I feel like I don't know.
I feel like Hyper Voice is just the play anyways. Like it should 2 kill from that range because Psynoise is pretty weak and obviously not pixelate boosted.
Yeah. I guess what I'm saying
not sure. Yeah,
would
not
you
sure
have stayed in with Gardevoir just to do a Psychic Noise when like he doesn't have to roost anyway, right? Like that's what I'm saying.
I wouldn't have clicked Wish.
No, yeah, you really should have swapped out. Is what it is.
I don't think swapping out is necessary.
Or even Protect. I don't know.
No, it came in on Feeny, dude. The Dunsparce switched into the Wish.
Wait, did he just Wish?
Yeah. If you Hyper Voice,
okay. I didn't know he already wished. Yeah. But either way, I was saying that just eating a glare doesn't seem worth it for a Psychic Noise there. You could Protect and take the Wish.
Well, we don't know it has. It does have Protect.
It does have Protect. Yeah. So you could Protect and take the Wish.
Yeah.
Or you could just Hyper Voice. Or you could swap out. That's what I'm saying. It's like I don't see why you Psychic Noise there when you're stopping
when
him
it's
from
not
healing.
going
It's
to
like you could have just it's not roosting. It's paralyzing you. Of course it is. Or it's swapping or something. I don't know. But hey, you know what? Yes, the Dunsparce did lead and click glare, but if that were a Misty Surge, Feeny couldn't glare the Gardevoir right there because he came right in. So, Automize, and this is Terra Ground, which he hasn't clicked yet, so he stays.
It is Automize.
What did I say? Automize?
Yeah.
What is it?
Automize,
no.
yeah.
Yeah,
a lot of people say Automize. Or automatize or something.
I think I said automatize.
You said automize, which is a different word.
Well, no, I said automize the second time because I thought that I said automatize the first time, and you're like automize. I was like, oh, automize, I guess.
Yeah, automize. So I guess it means to like remove. Like autotomy would be like a lizard removing its tail to escape danger, kind of thing. It's the same kind of deal.
Really, I always thought it was like related to like mechanics.
Nope, that's what Automize would be. It would be like related to automate. That's why it's not necessarily true.
That's why it's like commonly mistaken because you see the big metal spaceship and you're like, oh, Automize.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's a steel type. Yeah.
No, it's a lizard actually. So you're staying.
Let me just fact check myself on that though.
You're staying your steel type for in case he's clicking a dragon move here because that Ice Beam was the first move that he clicked, right? But he came in on you, so really, why would he click a dragon move there, right? But then again, you're neutral to the Ice Beam instead of weak to it, so.
Clicks my favorite English lesson stream, yeah. This is English 101 with Nahyma and Toady.
Eats the Ice Beam. Wait, hold on. Did he just automatize and then heavy slam?
It actually doesn't matter as much as you think.
Is it because it's already so heavy?
It's so heavy. It's literally 999.9. I'm pretty sure that doing minus 100 kilograms.
Oh, it's only minus 100.
Yeah, it doesn't like halve or anything. It keeps you in the same like heaviest weight tier and doesn't actually.
I thought it like halved it or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, that makes sense. Rocky helmet. Okay.
Oh, that helmet.
Ooh, and then
not getting a boost is really nice for brother.
That's true, yeah. What I'm wondering here so he swapped because I guess he's maybe. Would you expect a Jolteon there unattack boosted Steela clicking heavy slam to resist?
Maybe if it's like
an Acro, you'd also resist Acro. So why?
I mean, it's not necessarily. It's Terra Ground, man. It could be clicking Earthquake. Like this Kyurem is
right. No,
1 HP.
I'm saying why Acro instead of Heavy Slam? Because it looked like Heavy Slam does more.
I guess it does
everything.
More to.
It's only more to Annihilate.
Annihilate, yeah. Maybe Max knows the calc because he'll know his investment more Maybe Max knows that 2 heavy slams doesn't kill like an HP invested. Oh, it's Scarf though. But maybe it doesn't kill
I
Annihilate.
guess, yeah. Okay, I always think that the Acro did way less than Heavy Slam, and Heavy Slam
No,
would have been a 2
it's
KO, but it's not, yeah.
it's like 120 versus 100 base power.
Yeah.
Or 110
Let's
rather.
just reset off. Okay. That makes more sense. So
His
he
helmet is
probably
coming in
roosts
really
here.
quick though.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
All
That's where you
that, all
taunt
that
if you have
psychic
it.
noise, all that psychic noise on him never tries to roost through it, and then okay.
Yeah, I think
No,
it
I'll just
just
roost.
feels like no taunt on Mandy.
Yeah, already paralyzed.
But using this as glare fodder is fine, and it
Yeah.
does nothing with the boom burst.
And now the psychic noise will actually maybe let it 1v1.
Yeah,
So
now you
he
can
has to
hyper voice.
swap out.
But we just keep
Wish.
wishing.
Hmm.
Oh man,
SD.
it does have a hyper voice, right? I'm not crazy.
It has it. I don't
hasn't
know
revealed
if
it.
I don't know if this one does.
It hasn't revealed it, so who knows?
Oh wait, no. It might not have hyper voice because I think it runs Moonblast.
Huh?
Doesn't Mega Gardevoir usually run Moonblast?
No.
We're just gonna regular.
That's
Gardevoir.
Pixelate.
I know, but does it have hyper voice?
Yeah. Like it can learn it, but I don't know if it has it on this set. Is what I'm.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying like you don't know if it learns. I was like I would.
Oh, what would be the point of Pixelate on this mod
Yeah.
if you're not running Hyper Voice?
Hyper Beam.
True.
Because if you KO something, then it doesn't have to recharge.
That hasn't been a mechanic for years, my friend.
Wait, you don't remember Gardevoir clicking Hyper Beam and then not having to recharge?
No, I don't.
It's like a Gen 1 staple. Pixelate,
I know.
Mega Gardevoir.
Okay.
So let's talk about what happened the last turn. So he swaps. Oh, he did get the wish. Did he protect? Did that go?
He
through?
went for protect and got paralyzed.
Oh, it was on the
I
SD.
feel like
I thought that was the
surely-
turn after. I thought that was the turn after.
I feel like surely if Gardevoir even has a fairy move though, it's clicked it by now. Like it would have
Yeah.
clicked it by
What else
against
would
the
it have?
Dunsparce or the Gallade. I don't know what else it would have. Maybe
If it's
it
wish
has
protect
T-Wave.
though, like it's
Wish
it's
protect Psynoise.
like it's a support set, so maybe it's not running a fairy
Maybe.
move for offense.
I think it's unlikely.
I just don't really know what else it gets. T-Wave, but it hasn't clicked T-Wave either. Drain Punch offsets the Rocky Helmet there.
I don't think this kills. It does protect. That means it'll be Flame Orb probably.
Yeah, Quick Feet.
I think maybe Alluring Voice might. Oh, the crit is
Ooh,
really
that's
nice
a
actually.
huge crit, yeah.
Now next
Well,
time
then
Jolteon
again-
comes in, it'll kill.
So is he clicking Drain Punch again? So you go into
You have to go
Annihilate?
Annihilate. Yeah.
Oh, Cure.
Oh, this is.
I
fun
guess
too,
that also,
actually.
yeah, that also denies the healing, and then you're not going into a Zen Headbutt.
Oh, he actually read the play into Annihilate and clicked Zen
Yeah,
Headbutt too. So
yeah.
Kyurem was
So
definitely
that's
the right
smart.
play.
That's smart.
Yeah, good play. Good play.
But now you just outspeed, and that crit was pretty important.
Well, the crit did 58, so you'll do about 30.
Well, he might have T-Bolt instead of Volt
Nine
Switch, so
or
it'd
so.
do more. It'd do more.
I think you just Volt Switch.
His
Shadow Ball is a
it
crazy read.
calls out, yeah. Though, okay. T-Bolt and Shadow Ball also probably kills, right? Like, if he
Yeah.
has it.
Yeah, for sure. I think you either just T-Bolt or Volt Switch there.
Yeah.
Because
it
clicking
worked
a Raw
out,
Shadow Ball,
but-
yeah, clicking a Raw Shadow Ball
Then again-
into if the Dunsparce comes in there, that
Oh,
is
that's
looking
true.
rough.
That's true. That's the main. Yeah, I was gonna say 'cause
Yeah,
at least he's
'cause
also
T-Bolt doesn't
weak
kill.
to it, but he's dead to anything at that point.
Yeah, it doesn't matter though. Yeah, like if 2 Shadow Balls killed,
Oh, and you know
T-Bolt
what?
would have done okay.
You know what would have been kind of. No, because he would have had to have already terrored, which means the flame over. I was gonna say he could actually technically be glared because he's not Volt Absorb, and then he could switch off electric, but he would already have the burn by then.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. So before you play, this is an interesting
Let
scenario.
me go
So what
back
percent
again.
is Feeny at?
So we go in here. I just want to get to where we were at. So
Yeah.
first comes
Okay.
in,
What
takes
percent is
rocks.
Feeny at?
Feeney's at 88, almost fully healthy.
88. So I think Annihilate is the win con because I don't know
You
if
can't hit Annihilate. Nothing he does hits Annihilate. He can heal or he can glare Annihilate. But
Yeah.
He can't damage.
So
him.
that That and the fact that I don't think Jolteon actually beats the Dunsparce here 1v1.
Probably not.
I think it'll roost through the T-bolts. Now you do have a parachance, but you're gonna just die to your own turn after a while.
Yeah. But
So Annihilate is definitely the win con, but you
yeah,
need
because
Feeny
Annihilate
to be
also
low.
a glared Scarf Annihilate is still probably gonna outspeed the Dunsparce, and even then it's like, who cares? Like if it's down to a 1v1 between these two at the end, it's like you still just win because he can't hurt
What
you.
percent is Guard at?
I think it's pretty low. Or oh no,
No,
that's right.
cool.
It wished back up. Yeah, so it's 99.
So I think,
but it's paralyzed.
I think the play is Volt Switch into Annihilate as the Dunsparce roosts, and
But you
then make
do
the
know-
read. Yeah,
You do know at this point from earlier in the game that the Gardevoir does kind of 1v1 the Dunsparce when there's nothing to
well,
kinda
it's
go
slower.
into.
So now that it's paralyzed, it's slower, so it can't Sign-Noise
No, but
all the time anymore.
even when it came back in parried before, he still he got the Signoids off and it got him low enough that like it's risky staying in. But we still don't know what the fifth move or the fourth move is.
Yeah, I still think the play is you need to make a Soul Read with Annihilate, and you need to have like Gunk Shot. You Volt Switch now onto Dunsparce's Roost into Annihilate and click Gunk Shot into the Feeny that's coming in, or just U-turn and keep pivoting around and try and chip it.
And
with
we
rock.
don't know what the Finny is yet.
We don't.
If he's like Scarf or anything.
We do see the Volt Switch.
Yep, into the Annihilate.
Yep, I agree with this play.
I mean, is there assuming he does have Gunk Shot, is there a downside to clicking Gunk Shot there?
Yeah, you can
Again,
get paralyzed. He can sack the Dunsparce.
But you already know that the Dunsparce can't 1v1 you. Gunk Shot would kill Gallade at this point.
Yeah, CC will kill Gallade at this point too.
No, I know, but I'm saying like if you're just clicking Gunk Shot, like any outcome there, I feel like still favors you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you'd have to bring Gallade in, and Gallade would have to unboosted Zen Headbutt, which probably doesn't kill you.
Well, this is Scarf anyways.
No, I'm saying if he's paralyzed.
Oh, paralyzed, yeah.
Yeah. So it's really just the Finny that you're worried about. So I think Gunk Shot there is like better. Oh, he clicked. Okay.
This might have been fumbled. It's fine because you
It
have
did a decent
Gardevoir.
chunk still.
That did do more than I was expecting, to be honest.
Which means this is not.
That's probably fine,
defensive.
honestly. Like it's
Yeah.
not leftovers. At the end of the turn, we'll see if it's citrus.
Do you just sack guard here?
I don't think going guard is sacking it. It's at full HP.
I guess not sacking, but
You bring it in and
is
you start
like a worst case scenario of losing guard.
firing moves.
Then you just Jolteon kind of just volt switches, right?
Yeah.
Because then if you go to Dunsparce, Annihilate. It can't touch Annihilate, and you just click. You could even just click CC again because it kills Feeny 2 more times that it comes out, right?
Yeah.
You just cycle around.
This could be a tricky turn though, because if Feeny actually clicks Calm Mind here, I think it can Drain and Kiss through anything. So you have to take the risk of, should I switch Annihilate or should I just go for the kill with close combats?
Yeah, I would wonder though if with the amount of
I
damage
actually
that
think you
CC
go
did,
hard back to
do
Jolteon.
you think this is a? No, I agree. Oh yeah, no. Instead of Gardevoir, yeah. I was gonna say based on the damage that the CC did, do you think it's a Calm Mind set? I think it's more likely to be like a Scarf or a Specs set, and you'd have to tell.
Specs?
All it's clicked is Moonblast, but you'd have to tell based on whatever damage it did. I don't remember what it did with that Moonblast. And also, I mean, you're talking about the burn eventually killing Jolteon. You do have Wish that you could pass to Jolteon. If you go Gardevoir, just Wish and then jump to Jolteon.
If you go guard though, and this is Calm Mind Feeny, then Draining Kiss just heals it up, and you're gonna lose.
But if he has Gunk, then couldn't he still probably just kill it from full?
Potentially, it could be
like
Kevia.
if you lose something. Yeah, that's true. Well, let's see what happens. I guess we haven't seen him yet either.
Goes guard.
It is a berry, so he goes guard.
And actually goes for the double on Gallade. Interesting.
That's
a decent play. I think that to me reveals that it's not Calm Mind Feeny, or else it would have started 7.
Oh yeah. We don't know the fourth move, but you're definitely dead to Psychic Noise.
Well, it just dies to
just poison jabbing.
Poison jab. Yeah, for sure. There's no reason not to jab here.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Oh, crit.
I don't think crit matters unless it was like Fizz Death Guard.
Yeah. Okay, but now you just full switch.
Yeah, well, Galade's dead in this game. It underspeeds everything, so you just sack it.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, Scarf. Well, I mean, if he paras, then it doesn't. Then it outspeeds Annihilate. Because that's still on
Yeah,
the
but you have to
table.
sack something to this Jolteon in order to do that.
Maybe sack Finny. And then glare him.
I don't
and
think
then
that's
try
the
and
play.
go
I
for
think you
whatever.
sack.
I guess Jolteon still just beats Gallade, yeah. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah, whatever you switch into, Annihilate gets to pick the move to click into you, and that's bad.
Yeah. U-turn.
Yeah. Okay, I think you U-turn, even if Jolteon goes down here, which it could actually.
It will.
Yeah, I think this
but
is fine.
That was 28% from the first CC.
And is
So
that
he
26,
just
right?
twice. Or actually, he just
Yeah.
Rage Fist probably even at this point too, right?
No, Rage Fist, it hasn't taken a
because
move. It's just
also
taking
done
rock.
on Sparse. Yeah.
Yeah.
can't Rage Fist that. Maybe it has Drain Punch.
Yeah,
Maybe, like,
so I'm pretty
but it
sure
wouldn't do that
CC
to
should
Finny.
win from here.
Yeah, unless it's like a really low roll.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then, assuming not Chopple.
Those rocks
Good
really
first.
came into play because that was like right on the edge of
Yeah.
CC
Yeah, rocks are good.
mattering.
Rocks are real good.
For any of the
Set
doubters
rocks.
that are still out there.
Yeah.
So what were we gonna check? Let's check the Finny. Oh, and we want to see that Gardevoir what the fourth move was. Well, first let's. Who's this? This is Max. We saw all this. That was no, it's a Max Defense Petron. Foul play. I guess we didn't really see it do much, right? Yeah, it only parting shot and then it just kind of died.
Steel Gem. Oh, we did see the Steel Gem. That's right.
Was that the first Heavy Slam?
Yeah.
Oh, it used Heavy Slam more. I guess I wasn't paying attention. Trick. It was Scarf.
Oh.
Haze, Scald. So none of that. Yeah, the Haze didn't really come into play. Could you imagine if he was?
Maybe that's why the CCs did so much. I was really surprised at how much the close combats were doing to Fini.
Yeah, well, that's what I said.
But it was just uninvested.
Invested at all. I mean, it had some HP, but that's it.
Yeah.
And then Annihilate outspeeds you with Scarf too, so it's like it's probably only beating like a banded or unset up Annihilate, right? Like that's what the Scarf is probably for. Just Moonblast him down. Normal gem. Did we see the normal gem too on the return?
Yeah, I think it just killed something with return. I think we just missed it though. It's hard to
oh, wait,
see.
No. Didn't it go into a protect? I think it did. Yeah, he protected. Was that the normal gem?
I don't think it procs.
Oh, it doesn't.
Yeah, it only procs when you hit.
Oh, okay. I think that's why we didn't see it because he didn't click return again. We saw a low kick. Or no, wait, did he? Yeah, because he liquidationed on the swap, and then he low kicked. We never saw the gem because then he dies to the Jolteon or whoever came in the Annihilate. Yeah, so we never saw the gem. What's that? Specs Kyurem, we saw that. It was Hyper. Yeah, so maybe he was. I'm with you on. Probably should have clicked that move more.
Yeah, it's like just the raw base power on it with Pixelate is,
and also
it does like 50% more than Psynoise.
Force attack.
Yeah, so it's Spin Def.
I mean, it's Wish Protect. I'm not surprised it's like a support set, but it's also Synchronize and not Trace.
I don't think it really matters. I mean, what are you getting?
Beast Boost.
Yeah,
I guess it doesn't matter if you mega out of it anyway. Serene Grace. Oh no, it doesn't have any secondary effect.
It doesn't matter. It's always gonna mega anyways. So maybe you just sometimes switch into a glare by accident and paralyze the.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's actually better. I was trying to think of like what other status, but yeah, para makes sense. Yeah, Scarf, Rage Fist, Final Gambit.
Ooh, sheesh.
So no gunk.
Would have been spicy. Yeah, no gunk shot.
I feel like choice. I get that he's running it. Now you know what, you have the close combat. I was gonna say for the Dunsparce, gotta make sure your boxes are checked before you get that late game Rage Fist win con. But
all good. This was a crazy tight game. There was another Hustle game that was nominated, but I feel like this one was the tightest end game.
Yeah.
I'm surprised again, like I said, that the CC did that much to Fini. When I was watching the game, I think I might have joined late or something, and I didn't I don't know. I just didn't internalize that the first CC Tafini did like
Did
28.
28, yeah.
Yeah. So at
That's a
the end of
pretty
the game,
big
I
difference.
thought the brother had actually thrown because I didn't think it
Yeah.
would have killed, and
Well,
then we lost kills
that's
back.
why it's interesting to watch these games too, because like, I mean, I didn't know the outcome of this one, and like obviously we hadn't seen the sets exactly.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to talk about like those situations because to us when we're just going through the replay, it's just turn, turn, turn. But in game, like we've all been in the situations where it's like, you know your set, you don't know their set, and then everyone's just predicting. Like you said, like, oh, if you call mines, maybe it's over, right? Like if you make the wrong play, if you call mines, we're also assuming, oh, he's clicking gunk shot here, right? Maybe Max is also assuming that. Like, there's no way he's not clicking gunk shot, right? It's just, and then you find he doesn't even have it, right? or
I
this
mean, same
Gardevoir,
deal. You look
this
at
Gardevoir.
the Jolteon that doesn't even have T-Bolt. That we
Oh,
were
did it
like, oh,
not?
Bolt just kills. Yeah.
What was the
You
other
just
move?
scroll past it. It was already on the screen.
Oh, was it brother? Shadow Ball, Volt Switch, I guess that makes sense. Once we saw the Shadow Ball, I guess it makes sense because we did see the Protect and we did see the Volt Switch, probably Terra Blast, right? And then you showed Shadow Ball, so that makes sense.
Yeah, it's just Terra Blast that was revealed.
And then it was modest though.
Yep.
I wonder if.
I mean, was Gren jolly?
I don't know.
That's the only thing that matters for.
Well, doesn't Quick Speed or Quick Feet double?
Yeah, like on the first turn.
Or is it 1.5?
It's 2.
He wasn't even max speed, but he is jolly.
Maybe if you get knocked, you actually underspeed Gren, but that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah. Well, either way, no, it's well played. But I was gonna say also the hyper voice too. It's like we're all like, surely this has to have a different fourth move, right?
Yeah.
It just had hyper voice. Like maybe Max thinks that it doesn't have hyper voice, and then somewhere down the line, maybe that mattered. That it was like he would have clicked it by now, right? And then he clicks it, and then you lose. But it's just really interesting to see, and you can kind of see people don't always think of the same things. What might seem like an obvious thing to you that like someone's going to do that you're going to prep for, like to me, like I might have seen a different result, and we could have had two completely different reactions. So like I said with the Finny, where it's like I'm thinking this thing's choice. I don't think it's gonna call mine. Here's my play. I'm going Gardevoir, and you're saying if it call mines and you go Gardevoir, you lose. Like it's a lot of different outcomes, a lot of different things that could happen, and you never really know. But he played it right. I mean, he played the numbers. You have your assistance from consistent factors like rocks, and he got the win.
Yep. So good job to brother. Nice try to Max. That was a good game. And on to our next one. This is a heavily requested game.
It was a good one though.
It wasn't actually that long, by the way. It just kind of turns long into a whole bunch of turns that we can skip because they're inconsequential.
Yeah.
So we can go over the next 25. It was like 50 something. So there's only like 25 turns that matter.
Yeah, it's not actually that bad.
Okay, so we have Metro versus Chemfruit for our Swarm division.
Yep, and then we have I think unless she changed it, the Zolt is still Terra Captain. So it's just Terra Electric. And then we got, I don't think the other Terra Captain's here, because it's Hawlucha, right? Hawlucha, Zolt. And then on Chemfruit's team, the Corv is Terra, right? Yeah, that was one of the interesting ones that we saw was the Terra Corv. Sinistra's a good one. I like Sinistra as a Terra Captain. So Steel makes sense, probably heat proof. You see Steel. Granted, it's always
it doesn't have enough ability. So
hospitality. I'm thinking the freaking Bronzong, so you have to guess. But what else? Yeah, so it's just those two. Terra Ice bundle, probably gonna blow through some things, right?
Yeah, it is not Terra Ice bundle.
Terra Ice Blizzard spam. I saw this game. I don't think I joined at the beginning, so I actually don't know who leads.
I do, but only because I remember seeing the ones and remembering how good it looks.
Yeah.
So the only removal, the only removal for Chem is the Corv, which is really passive, and the Alecki, which you have a ground type spin blocker, which there's only a couple of in the game. I think like 3 that are relevant.
Palisand, Rune, and then Golurk.
Yeah,
I think those are the only ones.
Yeah, that's what I thought of. So I feel like Rune can just start setting up a bunch of hazards. as well as T-Spikes on Skuntank.
Yeah.
I personally think that just like having rocks with 3 moves on Rune with T-Spikes on Skuntank is probably the play.
Yeah.
And I believe that's what we do end up seeing.
I think that's what it was, yeah. Or maybe it was, I think it was just T-Spikes. There might not even be rocks.
Maybe,
it might
yeah.
just be T-Spikes. Because I think
Yeah.
she said that
But
she
I do
was,
think
debating
whatever your
between one or the
T-Spiker
other.
is,
It's like, just bring
yeah,
it
whatever the
up.
T-Spiker is should be the lead,
Yeah.
in my opinion. Especially,
Well, it's only
spinner...
T-Spikes is Skuntank, but...
No, Rune gets T-Spikes.
Does it?
Yeah.
I did not know that it got T-Spikes. Wow.
I've got to fact check myself. Hold on.
That would make more sense with talking about like
Yeah, it
who
gets
to bring it
T-Spikes.
on. But I was thinking just hazards in general. I didn't know it got T-Spikes.
Yeah, it has
That's pretty
T-Spikes, but not toxic.
Huh. Well, it's Gen 8, that's why.
Yeah.
But it's still
I would
weird that
expect
didn't-
whatever the T-Spiker is, especially if you can get them up before Sinistcha is Terra. I think that's really strong for you.
Yeah. Well, who else is Skuntank for here? Like, if Skuntank is not here to T-Spikes, like, I don't know. I feel like that's... You see Skuntank.
Well, it resists everything that Sinistcha does.
Does it? It is a Terra captain, though. I
Yeah.
mean, in this case, it doesn't hit a super...
Is it running Terra Blast just for Skuntank?
Yeah, Skuntank's like the best one on this team, dude. You always prep for the Skuntank.
Well, if you give that much respect to it, then your set is probably a lot worse.
Bro, it's just
Then
not
you
a
don't,
good set.
you're missing either a stab or you're missing one of like CM, Iron Defense, or Strength
Scald.
set. Scald is whatever.
Scald is whatever until it's against you. Then it's the best move in the game.
True.
No,
No, that's Ice Beam.
Ice Beam is always good though. I don't think that's...
Yeah, Ice Beam is just a good move.
Yeah.
It's just even better against me.
Yeah. So we pretty obvious leads over here. I think at least one.
I would
or two.
probably expect
Um,
something that can either fast taunt. Like I don't know if Corv is
I wonder what the
speed creeping
Infernate
it.
set is. Maybe like if
Maybe
it's like a
Infernate.
Rocks Infernate with taunt, that could be a nice start against this team, honestly.
Yep.
Because especially because like an offensive Infernate isn't doing much against Slow King, like even physical. I mean, you could
Yeah,
U-turn
just kind
it,
of U-turning.
but like getting choiced into, well, no, it's not even that bad to get. Whatever.
Well,
either
let's see
way,
what
either
they
way,
do.
I wouldn't be surprised to see like a more support Infernate. So maybe lead. Oh, just going. straight to
Bundle's
the
pretty fine too,
bundle.
honestly.
Yeah.
Just hard switches though.
And so no flip turn, or maybe you're worried about a sucker punch, but I don't know.
I think you just always live suckers. Going
Yeah, but
Corv,
maybe like Rocky Helmet though. Rocky Helmet, sucker punch, like that could be not ideal. I don't know.
yeah. I mean,
I
guess
don't hate
you
it
could
first
be
turn of
reading
the
Assault
game.
Vest. You could be reading Assault Vest and don't want to lose your item on a knockoff.
Well, flip turn would just pivot you. I'm saying why not?
Well, yeah,
mean,
but I don't
why
think you
not
have to
flip
have
turn?
flip turn on bundle.
Yeah. So it is T Spikes just right away. The taunt smart
T-Spikes taunt.
can't well,
And it's
didn't
set
try
up
to
Corv.
defog. So IDD
Means it's
Mighty
probably not
Press.
defogging.
Yeah, I mean you have your spinner here too. That might be an example too. Is like I mean I think we all kind of know now that Metro likes this mon and is gonna bring it a lot. But maybe when you're prepping for that, you see it week 1, and you might think
What,
that
Skuntank?
no the rune.
Oh, Rune? Okay.
So maybe that's why like you're banking on the Aleki being able to spin and not running it on Corv. I don't think people are gonna make that mistake again. Granted, how many other electric spinners are there besides Morpeko, who is the best one? And also is dark type, so you're not gonna care about it on the rune. But I wouldn't be surprised. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised if that is the choice that they went with to be their hazard control without realizing how much rune kind of bodies that plan.
Yeah.
So get the taunt again. Not a bad choice if you're still concerned about defog being the last move. But
You might as
probably
well.
Roost.
There's no reason not to.
Yeah, you're not dying. And then if they do ID, it's fine. And then also you put someone else in, they can ID on them, like a passive one, like Slowking, who resists
Yeah,
both.
this should be
iron
fine. The
and-
taunt
and
should last one
Vipers.
more turn. You can teleport into Bolt, and it just brings Bolt in for
Yeah,
for
or
free
chilling
rather
reception. Yeah. I mean, you do have
rather
your
than
slush
taking chip
rusher.
on it.
So it's probably it's pretty much always going to be running chilly reception, I think. Except on like trigger maybe. So wait, so did we just hard switch? So you chilly reception into, was that into the Zolt?
No.
No, it was into the
Into
rune.
Rune. Zolt doesn't have speed. Aleki anyways.
Even in snow?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Dude, Zolt
Like,
has like 55 speed or something.
yeah,
it
it's
is not
pretty
fast.
slow. Yeah, this
Like it
was
barely.
like
I don't think it even outspeeds like
460.
130s.
That'd be like 460 in snow, which is like probably uninvested energy.
Yeah.
So, well, here comes the Zolt. He's here. Sinistra. Bolt break. That's resisted. Did
God.
50%. And this is
That's
Terra Electric.
resisted.
It hasn't clicked it yet.
Okay, but that's resisted, and that's also not going first. So this is some like.
I thought
offensive
swaps.
Sinistra?
I thought swaps counted for.
Hold on. Let me double check.
I know
this.
it does for Fish's Rend.
If it does for Fisher's Rend, it's the same mechanic.
That's what I figured. Yeah, I think it counts as going first if it's on a swap. It's like the opposite of analytic. Whereas analytic also counts as going second on a swap. I think these moves count as going first on a swap. You're probably better off just.
Okay, what happens next?
Did you check?
Well, I'm checking. You can keep going.
I would look it up for Fish's Rend because there's probably more answers to that. What damage did it just take? Oh, was it Life Orb? Oh, that's what it is. I was like, did Snow just deal chip? So he goes into the Aleki, so he doesn't want to keep the Sinistra in here. So this is another turn where if that was Bolt Beak again, it might have done still more on the swap, and then you could have also Terra Electric there. That might have just killed Aleki, resisted, doing more than Blizzard. But then again, 100% accuracy Blizzard, can't really fault them there. But yeah, you come in.
The switching out function doesn't change any calcs on the calculator, so I don't know what the point of switching. I guess maybe for stakeout.
I think it's for pursuit. I think it's if the mon is switching out, not if they just switched in.
Gotcha.
I don't know if there is one for if it just switched in. I think the way that you calc that is just make them slower. Is what it would. Yeah. Or for analytic, make them faster. But either way, so Kemfru opts not to keep the Sinistra in here, which makes sense. You just took 50%. You probably know better than Metro if that's a high roll or not. And also, it reveals Life Orb as well, so it just clicks Blizzard after that. So
it actually boots Sinistra too, which is nice for these.
Yeah, I guess because it didn't take the T-Spikes, yeah.
So it kind of tells me that the Chem was expecting some sort of hazard stack. If you're running boots on your grass type that tears into his steel type.
Yeah.
But then maybe just underestimate.
It could also be for maybe like some specific calcs that it's like, oh, you don't want to take rocks chip and then do something, but then maybe also the bonus of like, oh, if they do bring T-Spikes, then it also covers that. I don't know. But anyway, so the Regieleki comes out on the Blizzard and just dies.
Yes.
But also, haven't revealed the mix set yet. Because that is mixed. Because Bolt Beak is physical, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it has even stats in both.
I think it has slightly higher attack.
No, is it?
Yeah, it's 100 to 90.
Oh, wow. That's actually more.
But Blizzard's base power just makes up for it.
Yeah. And 100% accurate in snow, too, is nice. So now there's the Terra Electric, and you just fucking die.
Yeah. Goodbye.
But also, I don't know. Is Infernape like happy with that?
We have
like,
to sack
even
something.
If it survives.
I guess maybe your play is to just go into Zygarde on the last turn of snow on the.
And just hope that it's clicking electric, because it's not clicking ice on Infernape. You just have to stall the turn with the immunity. The other question was, I guess you're not. If you're not ready for the Terra Electric, if you think that you can survive and then like CC it or Flare Blitz it, but like I feel like the Terra is kind of obvious at that point, right? Because the other Terra.
I thought maybe like a vacuum wave might be coming.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like if you're just bringing the Infernape in to sack it, like sure, but also like if you're bringing it in to survive something and then also hit it or hit it, with priority like Mach Punch, Vacuum Wave, there's no reason not to Terra there if you're Metro. Ice isn't giving you any real defensive benefit. Maybe for the bundle, I guess, because you can.
Well, against specifically the fighting move, it doesn't matter. Like it's good to Terra, but in the snow you do get a defense boost.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I forgot about that. Well, either
So
way.
does the Zygarde get poisoned? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it gets poisoned, so it's not gonna be boots.
If it doesn't get poisoned, it might have had an avenue to win here.
Yeah. Sack the
Oh, but Bolt is faster. That's crazy.
I think it's Scarf. I think it's Scarf. Bolt. Now that I think about it. Which is good. I mean that's a good thing to just kinda like catch him off guard, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the interesting things about using Bolt against so many of the ground dragon types. I had similar situations come up, like against like Garchomps and all that stuff. I think if you're bringing a ground dragon type to Bolt, at this point you're not really in a great position to be scouting a whole lot, but most people do try to like think of something, right? Like to deal with that. And I think I ran Scarf Bolt as well against something similar, and that's just a case where it's like, yeah, you took 90%, and well, now you're dead because it's toxic.
Yeah,
but because
I think that's if you're using your Bolt to bait a kill on another dragon, I feel like that's, I don't want to call it a waste of potential, but like obviously Scarf Bolt just isn't like that good.
No,
considering you
I just think it depends on
stabs.
I think it depends on the mon that you're kind of like trying to take down with you.
Yeah, and if you have no other answer to it, I think it's completely fine.
Yeah, and also, what's interesting though is that Bolt is actually one of the mons that kind of influenced. Maybe I don't know if this is true or not. Like at least in my mind, kind of like justifies legalizing bundle again, as an option that sort of appeared to kind of like definitively answer it with Priority Electric. So the fact that it's Scarf and not even using the move that beats bundle is kind of interesting. But maybe that's another reason why you're not expecting the Scarf Bolt. Like there's no way he's running Scarf when he has the best, one of the best moves in the game to answer bundle.
Yeah, I do think that
you don't want a choice into.
Since bundle is so good without a Scarf, like it's rare for it to have a Scarf. So because of how much of an opportunity cost it is to run Scarf on Bolt, means that it's less likely for your opponent to assume that it is Scarf and play around it, right? So it does, I think, mean that the thing that you're trying to lure in and assassinate with Bolt is like more likely to pop off.
Yeah.
But
and actually,
then I think it becomes less useful throughout the game.
Did Bolt come? Yeah, so she just put it in after a sack. So like if you're Zygarde here and you have Slowking,
I think you just expect
Rune, Shuka or the dragon one.
Habon, yeah.
Habon.
Well, I don't think Zygarde even brings its dragon stab.
Is it just Outrage? Is that
Outrage and Scale Shot, I think, and Scale Shot doesn't care.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Yeah. I guess that's true. I was gonna say that's a complication about the dragon, the ground dragons versus Bolt too. Where it's like you don't know which one they're gonna click always.
Yeah. You usually just tech to the ground move because the dragon moves are either weaker with Dragon Claw or whatever.
Or have drawbacks to them.
Yeah.
But that being said, you have 5 mons left, and you just deliberately sacked them on to bring something in, and you bring in the electric ground type against the dragon ground. Like, are you not expecting something?
Your Spidey senses are.
Yeah, like, there's just a couple other mons that I feel like would come in first.
Yeah, I think attacking into a Shukaberry is fine though.
Yeah.
Like,
but then again,
it does at least 50.
He doesn't need HP to beat bundle, right? Because like if it's the other set where it's just running like Thunderclap.
So it's actually taunt Boots bundle.
Boots makes sense, but
it was against the T-Spike leader, so I wonder why it's not turn 1. I mean, you don't want to get knocked. Actually. But if you taunt, then there's no T-Spikes.
Yeah, they don't come up. Interesting. Okay. I mean, it is turn 1, and bundle's your strongest mon. Like, maybe you don't want to risk stuff, right? Maybe you get.
I wonder why pumping here over freeze dry.
I'm thinking that it's
maybe it doesn't have freeze dry.
Oh wait, maybe calling out a hard Melm swap because it got taunted.
Yeah, that's fair.
But Metro just stays in. There's the freeze dry. Yeah, that had to be what it was, right? You don't want to just bring the Melm in on a freeze dry.
Yeah,
on a fairly obvious swap. Well,
this has got to be frustrating for Kem, who's like, dude, just switch into your Melm.
Yeah,
come on.
Like, That's yeah.
Let me make a read.
That's definitely it's 3 turns to not even kill something that dies in 2 turns, right? Yeah. If you just click the move. Honestly, yeah, and it's honestly it's one of the it's Rocky Helmet too. That's so tragic. the it's one of the interesting things about Swarm in general, where it's like they're good players, but sometimes they're just so hard to predict.
Yeah,
because there's so many things that can factor in. Is it that she's making a bad play because she doesn't know better? Is it that she's calling out something? Is it that she doesn't care if she sacks it? And you have to guess all of those things.
Playing with nothing to lose.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's what I hate. Like, no, okay, I don't hate playing certain people, but I feel like my reads on some players are just really, really off.
Yeah, 100% agree.
Because of exactly that. They're like just calling me out on everything, and that I'm trying to make plays, and then the no play, right? Like, I don't know.
Or you give them too much respect that they're gonna like not do the obvious thing. But then it's like you don't know if that was a mind games thing or if they just did the obvious thing, and then you make a play later. It's like, well, they did it last time, or like they did this mistake before. I don't know if it was a mistake or not. And it's like, oh, it wasn't a mistake. It was just a read, and you just found it.
Yeah, it's kind of like putting it into other like gaming terms is like, imagine you're trying to land a skill shot or something on your enemy, and they dodge you by just like not moving, and you expect them to move into your like, I don't know, your blitzcrank pull or in league or something, or like to walk into your bullets.
Yeah, if you're trying to like shoot,
and then they just stop moving,
and then they just don't do the
you miss your shot, and then it's like, well, are you good, or was that an accident, and am I unlucky?
But either way, it's definitely a thing.
At this point, though, it looks like Arctozolt's in a good spot, although there is still a Terra Electric Corv.
Yeah, but you have full snow up.
Yeah, but I don't think you break Corv with this.
Oh, Corv. It's a good...
After Terras.
Well, do you break Corv with just Blizzard?
I think that's unlikely.
Lore Blizzard?
Especially if it's Iron Defense, I imagine some sort of...
But you're not weak to fighting anymore. I guess, oh wait, so if you have 50% increase, this is a math question. If you take 50% increased, increased defense in snow, and then you remove a weakness, you're still getting
better
hit for
to be
less.
Electric.
Yeah, you're still getting hit for less.
It's better to be electric than to have boosted
because
defense.
It's 1.5 versus 2 times.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Except for other moves, obviously, that aren't super effective, then it's better to be ice. It's at 65% though. I
mean, okay, so
we don't know the last one.
You
probably Roost.
So you sack something. I assume you sack Poltergeist.
Sinistra, sorry. Right here, yeah.
And then you go into Corv. What do you think? What do you think Corv takes from a Bolt Beak?
I don't think it's a Bolt Beak though. I think you click Blizzard.
Yeah, well, it doesn't. I don't think Blizzard kills. I think you just roost here until snow's gone.
No, but aren't we assuming that they're tearing this turn?
Yeah, of course. What do you think Blizzard 2 it kills or kills?
I don't think it kills, but I mean it's 100% accurate. So you have a 30% chance to freeze.
It is not 30% chance to freeze.
Isn't it? I thought it was.
No, it's 10.
Huh? I thought it was more because it could miss.
Nope.
But I guess that would be kind of toxic in VGC where it's both 30% each. Well, either way, you have a chance to freeze. Your life orb, stab, Blizzard. I don't know. I think it would do a decent amount to Corv.
I think you're either severely overestimating Arctozold or underestimating.
But what does it do? Just keep clicking Roost? You have 8 Roosts, and he has 7 Blizzards left still.
Okay, let's see.
44. Yes, you like barely outpace it. You can't not Roost one of these turns. But I guess you're keeping because you're keeping it for the bundle.
I think it only matters if this is exactly power. And I think it already revealed
exactly
Iron Head.
Sorry,
right?
Cut out.
Power Trip.
Power Trip, yeah.
Yeah. Because there's no way for this to really beat Rune unless it is either Power Trip or Bulk Up.
But we see all the moves.
Yeah, well, exactly. So I don't think Corv ever wins in this scenario.
Yeah. That's true, yeah. It doesn't.
Especially if it's like Helmet Rune. Yeah, like this iron defense is okay. They both iron
Oh
defense.
yeah, this is where this begins. Yeah, and he has lefties, so Ironhead is never doing enough, and he's immune to body press. So like, yeah,
Yeah. So even if Ironhead crits, there's just a
it
whole
doesn't
shit
do
ton of
anything.
turns of
Yeah,
this
it doesn't do anything.
until I think Corv just runs out of roosts.
So this was an interesting play. So like, if the calc works out, this was a good play because you've played probably about 20 turns of just this back and forth. He doesn't even have that many body presses left, right? Or quakes. He just used something, right? Like I don't remember what the move was. It was reasonable to assume that the next turn was not going to be an attack. So if you're gonna get the bundle in and maintain this Corv's health, you have to be right on the prediction, which you was.
And he was right.
And
Yep.
and now you're praying that your bundle hits the hydro pump and kills.
Bundle moment,
It does not.
and it doesn't kill.
And your
that's
boots.
definitely.
So is that a
That's
case?
definitely, like I think Rune has Spit F Invest for this.
Probably, yeah. But not for specs. If it was specs, it would be dead.
No, not for specs, obviously. He's
Yeah.
never living that.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Metro
If
knows
this
at
was
this
specs,
point.
though,
That's
then we wouldn't be in this position.
Yeah, yeah. But either way, it's just like it's something to like. That is your out, and I think Kemford
Yeah.
played to their out, and it didn't work out because the rune was ready for it. But I did want to acknowledge that was a good play. That was the correct thing to do. Is try and sneak bundle in between.
Yep.
Go for that kill. Cross your fingers. Didn't work out.
Maybe you
but
do it. Maybe you have to try and do it though before Corv is like out of PP.
Yeah, I
I do
mean,
think Corv
it could have
can
happened
still-
earlier. It could have happened earlier.
Corv can still maybe muscle its way through Slowking, although Slowking is also Rocky Helmet.
Yeah, no, you're out of roost already, and yeah, if you're saying do it before you're out of
Yeah,
roost.
you needed to make the play 30 turns before.
Do you think it muscles through? So he's only 14%, and I can't see. I don't think rocks are up, but they're not. Either way, with you can't really regenerate if you're down to just these last few minutes. Melm also
Yeah.
never came in. Melm survives.
Yeah,
something from
Melm
bundle.
literally never left the Pokeball, which is pretty impressive.
Melm definitely survives.
Yeah.
A hit from bundle.
So just to
Which
double
is
check,
cool.
it is a Metro win from here, right?
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Metro them forfeits.
Yeah.
And now you're toxic too because
Oh, true, now it's poison. I
There's
did
no
forget about
chance.
that.
Yeah, there's no chance.
Okay.
So let's see. So is Shukaberry Melm? So there's your Shukaberry. Melm stole it from Bolt.
True.
Palmag. Which one's that? Is that what is he weak to?
Palmag, that must
He's
be a
only
natural
weak
gift move.
Yeah. It is natural.
I have no clue.
It is.
Oh, yeah, it is
natural.
natural.
I was gonna say because he's only weak to ground, so it'd have to be Shuka. Let's see.
Maybe it's
That's the
ice
max
to
defense.
catch that guard off guard.
Yeah, that's a max defense Skuntank though, and just staying
Mhm.
in to get the T spikes on a lead bundle. That's kind of ballsy.
I think that's fine.
But like, does it?
Are you really clicking pump turn one into Slowking?
Do you when you draft bundle, you have a gambling problem. So I think that's.
I think it's fine to
reasonable.
gamble, but I don't think you're ever clicking it turn one against when there's a Slowking switch.
People with gambling problems don't go based on when times that are fine to gamble.
Oh,
That's what you have to think about.
interesting analysis.
So yeah, we already saw all the moves.
Yeah,
on
okay,
that
it
one,
was
but it
Spidef
was
Rune.
it was max. Oh wait, I'm looking at the wrong mod. It's not Spidef. It is Spidef. Wandering Spirit. Okay, this actually I thought about this. I guess it didn't really matter because it was going back and forth so much. I thought it was more like
Yeah.
Mummy where it just spread. Honestly, could be interesting tech for a mon that relies on its ability to survive. Like let's say it was a slow twin or something that has regen, and you manage to get that. Then again, they're not making contact with you. I guess it's only contact. But is it when you also contact them? I think it is.
No, it's when they contact you.
Yeah, okay. Well, either way, it'd be kind of sick. Aloe, actually, it'd be sick against Aloe.
Yep.
Flip turn. And then again, how many?
They
flip turns
probably
are
just
gonna
run baton pass against you, but
Yeah.
it would
Well,
be good.
if they're thinking about it, right? Like, how many people are planning for
Yeah.
Wandering Spirit? That's
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's like a niche kind of like, oh, didn't think about that interaction.
Yeah,
Now I
gotcha.
don't have regen. So, Yes, this didn't come out. Acid armor body press. Okay, interesting. And it was Spidef invested 100%. Obviously, she knew that she had a backup for bundle no matter what happened.
Yeah, I think that Melm set still beats Sinistra, even if it like Terra, or even if it doesn't Terra. Pretty sure. Unless it's specifically like Iron Defense and doesn't Terra, then you're kind of in trouble.
Yeah, because then you're just double Iron Bashing.
It's missing 4 EVs on Corv. That's funny.
They matter. I don't think so.
No. Not a very fast bundle, but to be fair, what do you need that speed? Spread.
I wonder if there's outspeed slush rush. That might have been what it was crept for. That seems like a reasonable.
There's no way. I mean, hold on, let me check.
It's modest 88 speed. See if it's like just above like 460. I think is where slush rush would bring Zolt.
460. It doesn't even reach that when it's max speed.
No, I think the what's it called, Zolt in snow is like 460.
Yeah, bundle never outspeeds that, even if it's max speed.
Wait, I thought you were saying that bundle. Oh no, we're thinking Aleki always outspeeds it. I was like, wait, I thought we like determine that bundle just always outspeeds this thing, but I'm thinking of the wrong one.
Yeah,
so what is Aleki though?
Aleki is
Aleki was also Scarf,
436
actually. Scarf
no
Aleki.
Scarf Aleki, what?
And no spin, so it wasn't. Wait, so Kempfer just didn't bring hazard control.
I'm really confused by this set. It's Scarf
Hyper Beam does not touch Rune either way, but now you Hyper Beam and can't move for a turn.
Screech drops defense, right? It's not Spadef.
Yeah. I'm wondering if that was like to set up some cheese with someone else, right? Like if you just need to sack it, you just Screech and then like maybe go Mach Punch, right? Like you have your banded Mach Punch. Maybe that's a calc that matters somewhere against like Melm.
It was banded Mach and it didn't even click it against the
Zolt. Yeah, it just died.
Yeah.
That's so weird. Maybe it was just U-turning, or maybe it forgot that it was double speed. I forgot
it was Terra.
No, like I would think that without the Terra, that you're definitely Mach Punching if it's Ice type and you're banded Mach Punch. I don't know. DJ Barara's in the chat, by the way.
Yeah, Scarf Infernape does outspeed in snow as well.
It's banned Infernape though.
Well, I know, but I mean, I think maybe that's what the play Chem was going for, was bluffing the Scarf.
Oh. I don't know. I feel like Infernape, in that case, doesn't really bluff Scarf, because it's just as much bluffing that it just has a fighting priority move, right?
But it doesn't kill. It was at like 60.
Zolt was?
Yeah.
You think banded?
I mean, maybe it does.
Banded Mach Punch before Terra, if we're assuming maybe they forgot about Terra, right?
Why would we assume they forgot about Terra?
I was saying if they were clicking Mach Punch because of that.
Maybe.
Which they didn't.
I think if you're prepping for a Slush Rusher, you're bringing Scarf anyways. Because it's more reliable.
Yeah. It also could be one of those things where it's like, some people don't always check like the nuances where it's like, and don't realize that they're pretty fast Mon outspeeds the double speed Mon.
Mm-hmm.
If they Scarf. Because I've done that before where it's like, you don't realize, like you're thinking about this like Swift Swimmer that's like actually just like a base 60 or 70 Mon. And you're just so used to being like, oh well, double speed, it outspeeds my fastest Mon, and then you don't really check that and realize like, oh, this is pretty good.
I almost ran that. So when I played Zeb this week during week 3, I was considering running Scarf Torn against his Terra Drill.
Does that outspeed?
Because it doesn't outspeed Jolly, but it outspeeds the Adamant speed creep that I thought that he would be running against me, based on what my team was. He did run Adamant. I don't remember if it was exactly the speed I thought. Yeah. But if I had run like max speed Scarf Torn, it would have outsped the Drill.
Yeah. Yeah, if once you're already not prepping for that.
Yeah, but I didn't bring it. I dropped it for.
Oh, you didn't?
I dropped it for Weezing Galar. Yeah, no, I was going to. It was in my prep, and then like 15 minutes before the game,
Well, you were right.
This is bad.
Yeah. Well, that's
Okay,
that's
well,
cool.
that was a
Too
good
bad
game.
it didn't show.
I do think that most of the reason people wanted to see this reviewed was just for the Stallfest to troll us a little.
What are these
Joke's on
nicknames?
you, we just skipped through it, so
What are these nicknames?
good game. I
Oh,
don't know.
Purple Haze.
Oh,
Oh,
it must be
Purple
Jimi
Haze.
Hendrix songs.
Are they all Jimi Hendrix songs? I don't recognize. I only know Purple Haze, so that might be. Anyway, it was a good game. Metro's team working out pretty well for a team that lacks hazards. The fact that she's just bringing the low tiers, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Funny how speed creeping is a mind game. Yeah, there's a lot of like meta gaming going on,
Yeah.
not just between like drafts, but also between players and knowing like, oh, last time I played this person in a different league, and I called them out on their speed creep, and we talked about it, so now they know I do it, so now I'm gonna speed to counteract their full speed or whatever, right?
Yeah, I think it only really
there's a lot
comes
that
into
goes into
play.
it.
I think it only really comes into play. Not only comes into play, but for me at least, when I'm looking at someone's like, I look to see if they've ever speed crept, and then I kind of assume like it's an option. They're at least paying attention to it. If I'm not doing some like crazy thing that they wouldn't expect, then I'm gonna assume that they're probably speed creeping me, or at least like going to be faster than me. But there are people where it's like I just check their past stats, and like if they are always 252, something else, then it's like, all right, I don't have to speed creep you. It's or I'm not gonna expect the speed creep.
Yeah, I think it's more important, maybe not more important, but I think it's very important to look at who you're playing in lower divisions.
Yeah.
Because
they just don't know. They just don't even like if they just have never done it before.
There's a few players in Truant who like you look at their pastes and or their show teams rather, and
like
it's always
Smogon
just like 252,
stuff.
252. Yeah, so
it's because draft is very different.
It's fine
in
to
that
do
sense.
that.
Yeah,
it's fine to do that. It's you probably are just losing a little bit of value, but it's also like as a vet, it's hard to say to start creeping because then you can just get out crept by somebody who's like also trying to improve in a lower division. So it is kind of tough. It's hard to like knock that against them.
Yeah. I will say that I usually at the very least will be doing just like the standard like, oh, my mon is just gonna go like just down to whatever the next fastest is. I'm gonna put it right above that. I'm gonna invest the rest in some defense. And I know it gets more advanced than that, like at higher levels, where it's like, oh, you're expecting them to speed creep down to that point, which means that I can speed creep your faster mon going below what their actual max speed is with that whole thing.
Now if you're an adamant.
Yeah. But I think that's more of like that's more of something that's like more necessary at higher levels. Whereas for like Truant or Swarm, I would 100% recommend at least like doing the standard speed creep. Maybe not for your fastest mon, if you want to just keep that consistent top speed. Because that also covers for like if you forgot about what does T-Wave do to you, what is a web that you forgot about, or another otherwise speed drop, right? That like somehow now it's like, oh, you're slower than this other mon because you sped crept your fastest mon, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I would still recommend getting in the habit of at least doing it with some mons and paying attention to that, because it is an important thing to do, and sometimes that difference in defense is pretty significant. And like you might not even realize that, like if it's just like the difference between a guaranteed one shot and a guaranteed survive at full health, barring a crit, right?
Yeah.
So it's definitely.
So DJ says I lost the match last week because they had extra speed on a guy. I asked them why. They said no reason. Most salty. It really does get frustrating when you feel like you're like playing to your best ability, and the opponent doesn't care. And they play like they don't care, and then they make
hardest things about
either they run sets or make plays that just don't make sense to somebody who cares. And I get it. It feels frustrating.
You're playing.
Good.
I was gonna say you're playing, assuming that the mon that has like poison coverage, like the fighting type that has poison coverage that hasn't brought it at all, but you have a really good fairy type that hard counters them otherwise. Surely they bring the poison coverage, right? So you're gonna play into thinking that they bring the poison coverage, and then you like swap out and they're like, oh no, what if I just clicked close combat again because I didn't change my set for the past 4 weeks and I still didn't put poison coverage on this, and so you made a play assuming I did the smart thing and I just didn't.
Yeah. Yeah, like
Or like
if
you
we
assume
go
that
back to
last move
the
is like
Max
surely
versus
the
brother.
fourth move is poison, right? Because he hasn't shown it yet because the fairy wasn't in front of him. It's like it's not. It's Quake.
Yeah,
You
well,
know?
exactly like Max versus brother, right? When we reviewed the Hustle
Yeah,
game,
yeah.
is if we assume that the Annihilate had Gunk Shot when really it
Right,
was
and it didn't.
what Final Gambit.
Final Gambit, yeah.
Not that that was a case of brother doesn't care, so he didn't run
Right,
poison
yeah.
coverage. That's not what I'm
That's
saying,
just
but
a
it is situations like that
prediction.
where you don't have perfect.
Yeah.
So Lethal, Skyhops, and Martin on Shatter, like between 20 and 28 anti-creep EVs. I
Yeah.
do think that's good. I've actually started. Maybe I'm revealing a little too much. I've started running like 48, and I think that's a good amount. Maybe because I'm such a 216 plus head, where usually 216 is just enough to get.
Yeah.
Like 216 plus is enough to get an extra point from your nature, like getting to 350 at 110s or something, or whatever. Just getting to like 350 over the 348 barrier, over the 328 barrier.
Yeah.
Getting an extra point. That you're often left with 40, and then I feel like 40 is a pretty common thing to creep. So you drop like 8 or 4 EVs from HP to make it odd, and then just throw 48 speed.
I don't even like honestly. I don't
Kinda
even
makes
know if
sense.
I've ever done it that much. For me, it's like because again, I've played in Swarm and then I've played in my other league where there's like 3 people that care enough to do like
Yeah.
actual stuff. And usually for me, it's like if I'm trying to anti-creep someone, it's like I'm assuming they did the basic thing of like either just barely creeping me or like not creeping at all. So I just do like 1 extra point above whatever their creep to me would have been. So like Cliff
Yeah.
Fable, it's like, oh, if I'm like just under you, if you add like 4 speed EVs and you outspeed me normally, I'm just gonna do 8. Just be like, all right,
Yeah.
I'm going first, right? And it usually works. But now like 40 to 48 and all like 20, 28, what everyone's saying here is like, I don't think I've ever done that for speed creep just because I personally like I look at the defenses first and I'm just gonna say, like, hey, you know what, the extra bulk,
That's fair.
why not? But usually the extra bulk also doesn't matter. It's kind of hard to say. It depends on how much time I have when I'm building.
It's such a dilemma. I know we're going a little off topic.
It's relevant.
Because sometimes you see games where like the extra 1 HP makes a difference. Like in Zeb versus Azzy, week 1, right? Like all of those EV made a difference on the week.
Yeah.
But then you also see something that outspeeds something through like high anti-creep. Like outspeeding something that's adamant when they expected your thing that's creeping adamant to be slow, so they run adamant. Completely turn the tide of a game.
Yep.
And like just moving first. Like moving first is a very big deal and can save you more HP than the HP that you're saving through the extra defense invest. It's just a percentage game of how likely is it that this extra speed is going to matter. And if it's more than like the 1% HP that you would have saved from having that extra 40 SPDF, then I think it's worth it. Instead of saving 1% HP, you have a 2% chance of saving like 50% HP.
Yeah.
Just another way to look at it. It is like a game.
I think like the main case where I think like a defensive investment would make more sense is like if you have a specific calc for a specific mon that like it's a 50% cutoff or if it's a one-shot cutoff and that mon is like wearing boots or like there's usually not any other factor that's going to affect its HP before it comes in that situation. Like I had 1 week with my Sneasel in my low tier draft, where the exact amount of EVs that I needed to creep a Scarf Clawitzer and still for Jolly, the 16 EVs that I had left over were exactly enough to put into SPDF to guarantee that I cannot get one shot by the Fur Giraffe, which like with Gleam, like Dazzling Gleam without a boost, right? But Dazzling Gleam was doing 99.9% with 16 SPDF EVs.
That's good,
like,
but
that's the situation. It's like, hey, you know what? You can just come in and do that. Right?
I think when investing though, people are shy to take out of offense. Like on your Sneasel, how important is it that you actually have exactly 252 attack? Odds are it's not actually that important. And if it would have taken another 16 EVs, who's to say that taking out of attack and going 236 attack to get an extra
Right.
16 SPDF isn't worth it. I feel like that actually is worth. It's just taking the time to make those calculations
And
that I
yeah, you
think
have to
holds
check
people
like
back like that.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But small little like 16 attack isn't gonna change realistically. It could, but it realistically isn't gonna
It's a good
change
point, though.
anything. More likely, or it isn't as likely to change anything missing that attack as it is gaining that SPDF.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing with, it's like, what if it was just a mon that had a higher base attack? Like, it probably, like, there's still the same mons that could, like, wall that archetype, that it's like, you know, it's still producing. It's not like it's suddenly a bad mon because it's like the equivalent of a different mon that was just slightly under. It's like it's still going to produce in certain matchups that another mon would. That's similar. But no, it's all good stuff to think about. And it's a very important difference with draft compared to just looking at Smogon sets, because some people don't even realize, like, I've heard people talk about like casual playthroughs of the game being like, oh yeah, I gotta like EV all my mons, and then they go like,
yeah, that's some
sets.
bullshit.
It's like, why are you putting 40 speed on this mon? It's like, that 40 speed is for this very specific set that's common in like RU, right? Like that this mon plays in, right? Like, it's only running 40 speed timid so it can outspeed this shitter that is prevalent in that meta. Like, that doesn't mean when you bring it to OU that you also need to put 40 speed in it. You might want to invest more in defense to do something. It's interesting. And in draft, it's like you have to be able to do that for every single matchup and like know which things are important. And it's a lot of knowledge, and that's why I say, like, starting with just speed creeping kind of gets you thinking about how you're investing your stats, and then from there, then like once you're more comfortable with that and kind of like see what happens, see the results of it, maybe you see sometimes that you can run a nature that you weren't going to run before and be like, wow, that actually hits some cutoffs that I like. Then you just start expanding from there, and you see more sets, you see more stuff to prep for, and then you play against people who are also doing the same thing, and it becomes more sensible.
Yeah, I do think this is a productive and instructive conversation about draft, but I do think it's about time we move on to our fourth replay. We do have one more replay. This wasn't submitted to our highlight submissions, but we did want to tackle at least one truant game. So here we have Sky Knight versus Crabbit. Sky Knight being Rose Persistence and Crabbit being Speepus.
I believe I saw this one, but I know you picked it because you like it.
Yeah, I did just pick this. I believe since this game happened, I'm pretty sure Crabbit made changes to their team. Or maybe this is the first week that the changes took effect. Let me double check. I think
this is the first week where they took effect, because he made the changes at like when we were talking about the roster reviews, I think, like right after that.
No, Slitherwing is gone in the trade.
Wait, is this? Oh, this is week 2. I'm thinking.
Yeah,
this is from last week, right?
This is pre-trades.
Yeah.
Slitherwing is gone, and everything else actually stayed. Basically, it's Slitherwing and the mons that didn't come to this game.
Electric types at the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay, so who are the Terror Captains, though? I guess for Sky Knight, it's probably Steel and Fire. Should be Decidueye and Pecharunt.
Sky Knight, we have, Decidueye, Pecharunt. And
I can't tell here.
Crabbit, we have Regice and Hydreigon.
Yeah. Regice is ice? Wait. Did Regice change?
Is
probably
ice.
Wasn't a Terra Captain before.
I
don't think it was. I think Morpeko was. Wasn't it?
Crabbit doesn't have Morpeko. That's
no, like it got traded away. But I think that was the second Terra Captain.
No, Damu has Morpeko. Crabbit did not change Terra Captains.
So it's just Terra Ice.
It's just Terra Ice, Regice, yep, and Terra Ground.
All right, I guess we'll go with that.
Yep, and then we have, what are the Terras? Sorry, on.
It's the
Steel and
Fire. Fire Pecharunt.
Fire Pecharunt's interesting.
Yeah, especially when you.
I feel like it keeps a lot of the same. I mean, not a lot, but being weak to ground.
Yeah.
I guess Crabbit doesn't have a ground mon, but still resisting fairy is nice. But then Crabbit also doesn't have a fairy, so
you also have to assume that you're going against a team of like 7 electric types and then like a few good mons.
Yeah, true, and a Regice.
Yeah, the Terra.
Okay, so I would expect maybe. I mean, knowing Crabbit, I wouldn't put it past them to lead Regice and just start attacking hitting stuff.
Yeah.
I also feel like a Zapdos lead is pretty decent into the Lando lead. Because I think you'll be able to
have any
Hurricane it
hazards? I don't think he
down.
does. Right?
Any hazards on where?
Decidueye.
No, it has
He
defog
has
though.
defog, yeah, but he doesn't. Okay. I'm wondering about like a Heatran lead though. Like does Zap want to lead into Heatran?
Not
like,
if
just
it's
put
like
rocks up?
specifically Scarf Eruption, that would be rough.
Yeah,
But
also,
at the
like, if
same
you're
time,
just like
there's not really a switch for that.
Spadef rocks, just like put rocks up.
Yeah, you can
really
like
doing a
maybe
lot.
T-Wave it, but at least T-Bolt it.
Yeah.
It would suck if you get Toxic back, but
Yeah.
it's not the best lead. I don't think there's like a correct lead for Rabbit.
Maybe
I think,
maybe even like a U-turn
offensive
if it's
Heatran is
a
strong.
choice Slitherwing. Like
Yeah,
like
maybe we
Bandit
see a
or
Petulant
U-turn.
lead.
Who's his bug resist? I guess Heatran.
Yeah,
And Lando, yeah. And Petron.
And Petulant.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was just
half
looking
the
at
team.
the grass type is also neutral too. Yeah.
The grass type is Terra Steel.
That's true.
Okay, it is Hydreigon
It's
lead.
Hydreigon lead.
It doesn't care about this. It probably doesn't care about.
We don't know.
Lead.
Okay.
It just hits Terra Ground right off the bat. Trades for Rug. This is really good for Crabbit.
Yeah.
Goes for the second plot though. I think
and then
is
gets
bad.
Toxic. That's a little greedy. Yeah.
Yeah, if this Draco's the Lando right here, good spot actually.
Right here, or
Or
you
you
think
just-
before the Toxic?
Instead of the second
Yeah.
plot, if
Yeah,
you
I agree.
if you dodge the Toxic because you kill your opponent, that's pretty good.
But then what if you dodge the?
And then
Draco.
I mean, cool. Even just Dark Pulsing is nice. Oh, you wouldn't have been
That
able to
probably
kill with
didn't
Dark
kill.
Pulse,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have some commentary in the chat.
Oh, that's me. I
Some
joined.
guy who just joined after the greatest play was made.
Mhm. Yeah, this
so
being
he tried
toxic
coming
is
in.
rough. It is nice that you have a ground type now though for the Aleki. It means Aleki
Yeah.
can't just pop off.
I guess that might
I
have
would
been
imagine-
why. That might have been why he just did it right off the bat. Just be like, okay, now
And lead with it. Yeah, I think that's a completely fine play. I think it's inaccurate to go for the second.
Slot. Yeah.
Yeah, because you probably
Especially
should
if
switch
you're
here
not
anyways.
Draco. Like, and you're not dropping your attack.
Yeah, if Tran is the switch here, I think you should assume it's an offense set. Now, to be fair, you don't
Or like
really have a
AV.
switch. Yeah, or AV.
Oh
or
wait, no,
shit
you're
that,
Terra Blast ground. It doesn't care if he's at +4. He shouldn't have come in. But
Yeah.
it's Terra.
So that
Wait, is he Terra?
probably means it's offensive. It's not Terra Tran.
No, yeah. So okay, it has to be offensive because he's no longer.
Yeah, we do
he's no longer
see the Scarf
resisting
Eruption.
fire either. So that's actually one of the drawbacks of going straight into the ground.
But I don't know
Um,
how reliable Starmie would have been into that. Like, I think it still
Yeah.
takes with rocks. I
Yeah.
think it dies in 2 hits.
But then you got to think that Scarf Heatran. I don't think he has any hazards on this team, which is a little unfortunate because that's usually-
Hydreigon could, but it's unlikely with plot.
Yeah, no one's already dead. But I'm thinking like you now know that it's Scarf Eruption. How are you chipping that down? How are you preventing this from doing
Yeah,
anything? if
it
you
looks
don't have
rough.
Any hazards at all? I guess like after a spin, +1 Starmie is gonna outspeed it, but like even then, it's like you have to. Oh, he's not spinning. Okay, so he's keeping the rocks up. So Nog is okay. I guess that makes sense for the Starmie.
Drops the AV.
Yeah.
I think AV is nice into the Darkrai.
Yeah.
It has actually a pretty good Spidef stat too, so I think AV on this one is fine with Leech Life. It can recover its own HP anyway.
Yeah, makes sense. He just U-turns right into it. The Terra still even resisted. That did a pretty big chunk.
Yeah,
Rock
I think
Tomb.
U-turn was their right play because Petulant is really often coming into you.
Rock Tomb is really interesting. I guess
Rock
it's
Tomb
because
does
you know
40.
that the Zapdos, like the Zapdos, probably bodies this Decidueye normally.
Probably,
right?
but it does 40 with a Rock Tomb, so that's
Yeah.
got to be like offensive Zapdos.
Yeah. So I'm just
Well,
thinking
the
like
ring's goated,
like
yeah.
why that over like a flying like aerial ace even would probably just kill Slitherwing, but yeah, okay. So Zap comes in on the Rock Tomb, is now slower, but he roosts, so he's not weak to the rock anymore. But now he gets his that's
Static
unfortunate.
Rock is nice.
So he gets the boots knocked, and he gets parried. That's like negative value at that point. I mean, I guess yeah, he hasn't removed the. He didn't spin away the rocks, so maybe
Yeah, the
it's
rocks
just,
are up, so this is as soon as Zapdos switches, it is effectively just at 75.
But Oh, he's eventually. Well, actually, the para matters a ton because now he can continue to, like, for a couple more turns, continue to outspeed the rock slide and remove the flying weakness.
Yeah, until it gets parried, right?
Yeah,
I feel like at this point
oh,
you
he
just
has a
start.
defog.
Okay, defog is nice. I feel like at this point you just start hitting though.
Yeah.
Okay,
I was
you
gonna say
roost
if you just keep doing it
one
for
more
the full
time.
para, then you just at least get full health. But at a certain point, you're gonna be slower.
Triple arrows. Oh, that's a good
Yeah.
triple arrows read.
And it gets the defense drop, and he volt switch. That's a smart. I mean, I don't know if
This
that
might
was.
be Assault Vest Decidueye. That
We
took
see.
negative. Like the U-turn did more than this volt
Yeah,
switch.
that's true. And it's not. It probably has a grass move for the last move too, so it's probably AV.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Or terrible. Wait, why is it steel? Just for this guy? But even then, he's fighting type. I don't know what the steel's for.
Just finished watching the VOD. Chem's Scarfa like he was to best. Unburden Halucha. Also pretty sure Zolt Blizzard did that little because I just didn't invest in special attack.
I thought it was like split invested though. I thought I remember seeing something stupid, but maybe not.
That's okay.
What was I gonna say? Okay, wait, so we just saw the full switch. I was like, wait, why is he still out? Didn't resume. There's the full para.
That's really nice. I mean, well,
I can't imagine it was anything other than triple arrows again.
Yeah, that still does a lot of damage to
It would do
Starmie.
a decent chunk and could drop defense as well. But then again,
Yeah.
I think
Clicking pump there is a little risky. I feel like there wasn't too much
Yeah.
reason for Decidueye to be preserved. So going for the I'm gonna like hit on some.
well, you also
risking the 1 in
just
5.
saw that it's probably AV. He's
True,
steel,
so
so,
maybe
he's gonna
it's not a
resist
bad move.
psychic. He's gonna resist
Resist Ice
like
Beam.
ice beam. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you
Unless
had
it's
the pump there
T-Ball.
actually.
Pump might be the only
good
thing that
call.
kills.
Oh, also I forgot the evasion drop actually matters for the pump. So I think that pump was actually a fine play.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, because default. Wow, Crabbit with the secret, really smart tech of
Yeah, the advanced
defog
tech play.
to the hydro pump.
That's
We,
I think
we thought
something
it was a
that's more
bad
relevant.
team. It's actually super synergistic.
Yeah, that's something that's more relevant on like exactly Rotom Wash, where you can like defog on a ground type switching in to block your switch, and then your pump is always hitting.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any other mons that really do that. I mean, maybe like Mantine, I guess, but still not very likely.
I guess. I mean, Zap also benefits from like Hurricane.
Yeah, Hurricane. Yeah, for sure.
And Thunder if you really want to.
Yep.
But also those two moves just run Rain, and you're also 100% accurate.
So there's no ground type, but I do believe
but
this
it's a Terra
Regieleki.
ice type.
Yeah. Regieleki should be able to eat any special electric that Eleki, or Ice rather, should.
Be able to eat it. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, any special moves from Eleki.
But then again, if it's
That's just
Terra
28
Ice, it's probably offensive, right? Like
Yeah.
you're not running Terra Ice on your super bulky mon that's already ice type to tank.
But
more.
dude, this thing has 200 SPDF. Like even an
Yeah.
HP invest means that you're not taking much. I think this
No,
might
I know.
even just be like
You're still
a magnet or even a Specs Eleki damage, assuming this is
Really?
HP invested Regice.
Wow. We're assuming a lot. And dead.
Okay, yeah, it's dead.
So
I was thinking it might have been Assault Vest. No, it's not.
does he even click anything? Or no, because he pivoted. Yeah, he literally didn't get to click a move. Like, he just eats it. He just takes it.
But I mean, what are you gonna do? You don't have a ground type, so this
Now you
freely
don't have
volt switches
anything
on.
for that, yeah.
Pecha on the Starmie is maybe a little troll.
The psychic. I mean, you're Shadow Ball. You probably.
But what else do you go
Survive one
to, right?
psychic.
Like, do you go back to Eleki or do you go Darkrai?
Maybe you
just go
bait the
Pecha.
psychic and just hop into Darkrai.
That's true.
But then again, you already got to just put something in on Revenge. So like, what benefit does that give you? Unless it's choiced into a psychic move, which, if it is, then you just go Darkrai anyway. Like after
True. It
the
could be
thing.
Scarf Starmie.
Yeah. Because it didn't spin. Oh.
Oh my god, that just died. That's got to be Specs.
Yeah.
Or like
Yeah.
Mystic Water, maybe.
Yeah, this is pretty unfortunate.
Yeah. Really didn't think Hisham would outspeed. Yeah.
I mean, Scar featuring. It's pretty good.
Yeah. This. I think Krabbit was in a catch-22 where either you keep a fire resist with Hydreigon or you get an Electric with Terra Ground.
Yeah.
I think it
I
had
mean,
to
you
be
have
Terra
two
Ground
other fire
Regites.
resists though.
They are not actually Eruption resists.
No, but you also have
I'm pretty
a
both get
200
2
Spidef Regice that's a Terra Captain that you
Yeah,
opted to
it's
go Terra
Terra
Ice
Ground.
on. Like,
Keep in ground Regites and then keep the dragon move or the dragon typing
or
on
even
Hydreigon.
like even something that actually resists fire, then it's just a non-issue completely. But yeah, Terra Ground probably just tanks it anyway.
Well, if you don't have one of them be Terra Ground, then you don't have an electric switch.
No, I'm
Like
saying.
it both on you.
Oh, you mean like if this guy came out and then terrored into something else, then it's like, okay, now you just full switch. Because then there's
Did
no way.
Speepus have a ground type? No. They didn't have a ground type at all. Their electric immunity was Lightning Rod, Pincurchin, which did get traded away. And this will be a pretty good segue to go into the trades. Because I think there were a lot of changes that happened to team.
Yeah.
And then we could even just go from Truant all the way up to also to check the trades. Yeah, so I think like exactly for that reason where if you don't have a ground type, you just get Volt Switched on all game. And if you lose the dragon typing on Hydreigon, you get Scarf Eruption on all game.
Yeah.
I think the play is to be ground Regice, keep dragon typing, and make sure Hydreigon has Roost.
Yeah.
To
and if you were like ground sort of counterplay. Ground Regice with AV, also just like even if you're not resisting fire, would still be pretty good
as well. I think that's a much better counterplay than ground Hydreigon.
I think maybe Krabbit didn't know about Scarf.
The Scarf, yeah. This might be
like, or at least not know that it's like actually like a viable thing that people run like not a lot, but like in drafts, it's like a very real threat.
Yeah, I mean, they said I didn't expect it to outspeed.
Right.
So
yeah. So that to me says like probably hasn't seen
Scarf before.
But, yeah. Because that is hard to like adapt to mid game if you didn't bring a dedicated answer to it. It's the same thing is true with like Typhlosion, who's like not usually a good mon, but it's like if you don't know that it's just gonna Scarf Eruption and you like don't bring rocks, you don't bring anything to answer it, it's like okay, it just gets a kill every time it comes in, and you are not stopping it at all. So
yeah, Aleki says, sorry, DJ Barra says Aleki's 20 points versus no ground type. Yeah, it is. It's a demon, and it's kind of like. I mean, it's a little bit easier to tech against when drafting than something like Vish, where you need to get like a water immunity, which is only done through abilities, as opposed to like ground types or immunity abilities with Aleki or against Aleki. But then if you do have that rare matchup where somebody, I mean, I'll call a spade, didn't draft very well, then you do just have pretty much a free with Aleki, yeah. Anyway, so Zapdos is in. It did 71
was this a pivot or did it just come in on? I forget.
What did it do? 71 to with the.
I just want to catch
with the T-Bolt. Oh, it just kills Slitherwing.
Oh.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Dead.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Probably had to go Chi-Yu there to have any chance.
But do we know what it is yet? If it's Specs or
Aleki? Not technically, because we don't know if it was Assault Regice.
Yeah.
If you can ring target trick, I remember your tech from early season. That was sick.
That is funny, yeah. I've always wanted to use a ring target, but I never figure out when. Fire Blast. So that's Scarf.
No, it's Life Orb.
Oh wait. Was it just not invested? What was that Darkrai
What?
set?
It switched into Darkrai, dude.
Oh, I think I paused in between.
Yeah,
right. Okay.
Yeah, you paused it. Yeah, so Darkrai switched in so that it could like drop the overheat, for example.
Yeah.
It was actually a pretty good. That's a pretty instructive turn, actually. If you.
You want to go back to
this Aleki turn? Yeah, switching here into the Darkrai. Okay, pause. Going Darkrai is really good because if it is Scarf, that's kind of the only way you lose.
Mm-hmm.
If it clicks Dark Pulse, it's not going to 2-hit kill Darkrai, more likely than not. And if it clicks Overheat and does kill the Darkrai, then the Scarf, you can go into Heatran and kill something, or you just go Aleki.
Because now Flash Fire just immunes it.
Yeah, Flash Fire, but now you can go Aleki to since the Fish is at -2. So it's
Oh,
actually
after like an
a pretty
overheat,
small thing.
yeah.
Yeah, whereas if you went into Darkrai, or sorry, if you went into Heatran on Pulse, that's when your eruption is now doing way less,
Right.
etc. So this was like, if you're gonna make a switch, this was.
But then again, I mean, Starmie, you're not worried about Starmie when you still have Regieleki. And if it's not choiced into a fire move, Heatran doesn't. Oh, I guess it's Scarf. So if it's full health, it probably does still just kill Starmie. Yeah. So never mind. I was gonna say who's more important here, where it's like you have a definitive answer to Starmie, and then like if Darkrai is faster and just kills it, I don't know.
Yeah, it's okay. It's been revealed now that Aleki will outspeed. It probably outspeeds even Scarf Chi-Yu, honestly.
Without Scarf, just like regularly.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably.
But I would imagine it's probably modest, so didn't go for the creep.
Earth Power doesn't pick up the kill, but doesn't really matter because he's dead.
No, at this point,
like he
it
doesn't
doesn't
need
matter.
to be killed because he has Life Orb to kill himself.
Yeah.
And you didn't get killed either. But
maybe it gets a little dangerous if Starmie starts rapid spinning here. You get a spin on the, because you're choice locked, right? Yeah. So if it has like spin, then Aleki could get crit and.
Well, I think it's probably been revealed that if this is specs or not.
Yeah,
right?
it might have been.
Like just early, like when it one shot the
because it one shot the Pecharunt.
Yeah.
I agree. I
so
think
it's
it
like
is.
Probably not.
But I mean, analytics pretty busted, so it might have been Mystic Water.
That's true. Yeah, because
that was my call out. I'm like, it's either specs or Mystic Water here.
Yeah. It's kind of bulky though.
Yeah, I'm going for pump. I think it was just specs.
Yeah. People dead.
GG's.
Didn't miss a pump though.
So, okay, check the Starmie.
Decidueye was AV. I think you
was AV.
That.
It was Specs Aleki.
Specs Aleki.
It was Scarf Tran.
With extreme speed, which I guess is more just for last minute finishing something off.
Oh, Specs Darkrai too. Interesting. That's a lot of choice items, but I think it makes sense. Kravitz team, I think, folds if you put on offensive pressure.
Yeah.
And yeah, Pecharunt was just full defense.
Specs Incinerate.
Okay, and I'm interested in Regice's item. I'm pretty sure it was AV.
Oh, it's one. Weakness.
It was weakness policy. Oh, but it was full Spadef. Interesting.
It's full Spadef, but Terra Ice.
Lock on Zap Cannon. Sheesh.
And T-Bolt. If Zap Cannon wasn't enough, you also have T-Bolt.
Yeah.
For your neutral
I think
electric coverage.
Okay, maybe that's pretty cute, but I also feel like that's an inaccuracy again, where not to mention the 4 EVs you're missing, it's not the end of the world, though. If you're running weakness policy, just run agility or rock polish or whatever it gets. I'm pretty sure it's agility. Just run agility. And I mean, you know that you're the Regice master, not me.
And it's Spadef Spatak with calm, so it's not even HP.
Yeah, I do think you can still run Calm Nature. Like, running Calm on a 200 base stat is, you just get so much value out of that.
Spadef.
No, I know. What I'm saying is, I don't think you need to invest in Spadef. It's kind of like Mega Aggron, where you can just run Impish and then invest into, like, attack and HP, right? So I think in this case, if you want the Spadef so that you can proc weakness policy a little bit more safely, run Calm. That's totally fine. And then run full special attack, full HP. Or take out whatever you need so that you outspeed things after an agility to put into speed. I think that's probably the play. You can also catch people off guard with like crazy Spadef invest, but for the most part, your Spadef is so high that that extra 252 only gives you like 56 or whatever, 60 or so points.
And here's what I'm also wondering.
Getting the extra like 50 Spadef versus getting an extra 50 HP is a really big deal.
The lock on Zap Cannon too. I mean, obviously it's a meme, right? Like it's not
right. I'm not gonna hyper focus on that. I don't think it really matters.
It's just interesting where it's like you have your bolt beam coverage, but it's also like, what if I just telegraph every time I'm gonna use the strong electric move?
Yeah. I think that like if you want to run lock on, I think it's cute. Zap Cannon's cool. You can probably just run Blizzard
Yeah.
at that point.
That's,
Maybe you
that's
don't have
actually,
to.
yeah.
That might be it might be a little troll
But
to
I think
run
that's
two
an
moves that you
example,
have
though.
to run. Yeah, but like if you want to click them, you pretty much have to click lock on before,
Yeah.
right?
Well, then
Unless
maybe
you're
put
running
Blizzard
Wonder
instead of
Policy.
T-Bolt.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Because then it's like if you get the lock on, then it's like they have to guess, right? Are you clicking the Zap Cannon or are you clicking the Blizzard? But then you also still have your neutralizer. I think it's actually an important thing to mention though, because it is something that's kind of like a learning curve to making some of these like kind of like funny teams, gimmick teams and stuff too, where it's like even though they are gimmicks, there is still some reason behind them, right? And that's a perfect suggestion where it's like, hey, if you want to do a funny lock-on set, well, what else would be good with that when you're running Terra Ice Weakness Policy Regice? Lock on Blizzard would be a nice little thing to add on there. But
like leaning so hard into it where you have to do the meme does, I think, make the meme worse.
It does,
Whereas
but I think you're already making the mon worse.
Lock on, I think that's fine.
Yeah.
I do think the set should have just been like Ice Beam, T-Bolt, Terra Blast with Terra Ground, and then Agility. Yeah. Especially looking at a Heatran. Like, your Thunderbolt at +2 isn't K.
Right. I agree. Obviously there's better sets to run here.
Yeah. But that's okay.
Yeah. And then what else? We already saw...
We did see a lot of 252s. Kind of like what we were saying. Is like, is there a reason for this Hydreigon to be 252 modest? Probably not.
Why is it Chesto? If it doesn't have rest.
It's Rusto Chesto.
Rusto Chesto. Well, what's funny is I was thinking like, oh, the Toxic, he actually could have rested it off because he's Resto Chesto, but he's not Resto Chesto.
Yeah.
He should have just run like a Lumberry. Like,
it might have been for the Darkrai.
But then just run a Lumberry.
Right? Maybe. I think maybe
I get it specific for Darkrai.
Like if you get Toxic, that means you can't be put to sleep, right?
Yeah, but I think
if you just want to guarantee that you don't get put to sleep, then I think Chesto's fine.
Yeah. I mean, but the Toxic damage also kind of like is the same as the Bad Dreams damage at a certain point. I don't know.
But like this is kind of what we were saying about DJ Barrera's thing. It's like, oh, why did your Hydreigon have 2 speed? Why is your Chi-Yu 252 speed?
Yeah.
Like if Lando was speed crept to outspeed like a modest Chi-Yu, because there was no reason for it to be modest or something like that, or even Darkrai was outspeeding modest Chi-Yu, and then they just pull up with Timid, and it's like, okay, but why were you timid?
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a Lando in this game, but that's the kind of thing that I think DJ was getting from.
Yeah. Yeah. Where you don't think that, like, where it's like, oh, obviously there's a speed gap here where you can do your attack boosting nature, and then you just don't.
Yeah. I think the Chi-Yu set is fine, except I would probably like to have seen Flame Charge over Memento. Because you kind of don't need that 4th slot. And it's the kind of move slot where it's like, if you like have a free turn, might as well get a speed boost.
Yeah, I usually prefer to, like, especially when you're only, if you're running Nasty Plot and like your only fire move is Fire Blast, I actually sometimes just fill that with Flamethrower, just to be like, hey, what if there's this situation where it's like I just need to hit this move, can't take a hit, Nasty Plot boosted stab, Flamethrower is probably also fine in all those cases. And really the only time that Memento would be good is like if you have something that is like your win condition, if you are able to bring it in, right? Like that's usually what that kind of self-sacrifice move is for.
Maybe that's what Regice could have been if it was agility.
But Regice wants to take a hit.
Yeah, well, you can take a hit really easily behind.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying you don't have to like bring that in on a sacrifice pivot. You could just bring it in. Right. All right.
Yeah, but like Dragon Dance Hydreigon would have been nice.
Yeah.
For example.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Or even Nasty Plot, like if he brought that in later. Either way.
Anyways, so I think this was actually still a really close game. I mean,
it came down to
it is a 1-0, but there's also a Specs Regieleki that's at full HP.
And the idea is just kind of like you're sacking
really ever
things
an answer to.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was never an answer to this anyways. So even if Krabbit had like 3, 4, 6 more Mons, this still might have just won.
Yeah. Is there anything on this team after this Hydreigon was dead? I wonder if everything on this team is dead to Specs Thunderbolt at like almost full health. Maybe not Zapdos if it's bulky. Oh, and not Regice, obviously.
Yeah, Zapdos, Regice. I'm pretty sure Chi-Yu can live 1.
1 Specs T-Bolt at full.
It has like 120 SPDF or something
I
actually
don't think
pretty
its
high.
HP is that good though.
No, it's not. Let me just check.
I'd just be curious because it's Specs Transistor Thunderbolt, right? Like that's gonna be strong. I'll actually.
So Specs Thunderbolt to uninvested Chi-Yu does 81 to 96. From Timid. If it's modest,
Do we know if it is?
it does. Well, we could. You have the team up.
Hasty. Oh, because it was
Okay,
extreme speed.
so it doesn't kill. If it's modest, it has a 37% chance to KO.
Wow. Then again, he is Life Orb, so he probably just dies.
Yeah, it kills almost guaranteed after the Life Orb if it's timid.
So if it has come in once at all and clicked a move, then he's probably dead. But yeah.
It's about 50 or like 40% to KO after.
Yeah. All right, well, do we want to look at the doc real quick here? That was all the...
Yeah, so actually we can just take a look right away at the trades that Krabbit did and how I think...
Okay, so we want to go over to Truant.
Yeah, and how I think they may have helped out with the team. Because we do see Krabbit dropping actually a bunch of... There was a whole bunch of fluff at the end of Krabbit's team and a Slitherwing. I think Slitherwing is fine, but it's never like mandatory to be on. But they dropped Pincurchin, Mega Manectric, Registeel, and Slitherwing.
And they brought it
and picked up Nihilego, Tapu Bulu, and Palisade.
Yeah, just a good consolidation of a lot of mons into a few more reliable ones.
Yeah, it's easier to have bringable mons, although it does suck because now you have to leave those bringable mons on the bench when you want to run Regice, which I know that Krabbit wants to do. But there's an actual... There's a Pokemon that wants to run Stealth Rock with Palisand. There's a ground type. There's a fairy type now. There wasn't even a fairy before Bulu.
Yeah. Granted, a fairy type that doesn't have fairy stab.
Yeah, that's true. But like, you don't draft fairy types for the fairy stabs on it.
No, but it is nice when your fairy type can like come in and also like hit.
Like it has Gleam and a special attack stat.
What is its special attack? 85. It's not bad.
And Calm Mind.
Oh, I didn't know it had Calm Mind.
Yeah. Not only is fine, it's
130.
It's nice to have another Pokemon above 100 speed. Because I think like having Chi-Yu, Zapdos, and a bunch of things that just get outsped by like adamant 115s or something is really, really tough. There was a Mega Manectric, and I do think it's tough to drop Mega Manectric, since it was your fastest mon, but at the same time, I feel like it's never coming. You have a Zapdos and a Mega Scizor, you know, and it's really hard to bring over either of those anyways.
And I don't think most people are getting fooled by that either when they're looking at like the speed.
I think just in general, the typings that you're adding with now there's a grass type to help resist ground. There's a ground type that you desperately needed. There's even a ghost type to spin block for now the 2 extra hazard setters that you're adding.
Yeah.
Palisand.
Palisand's nice.
Yeah, and also just a grounded poison, so T-Spikes don't just own.
Yeah. Well, also, I also like getting the ghost as well. I don't know if he had a ghost before, if it was one of the cheap ones that he had. But having a ghost type for your dark, and I guess like your poison type's technically neutral, but also your rock type's neutral. And then
there was no ghost.
Steel type is neutral too. But
again, the drops were Pincurchin and Mega Manectric, and then Registeel and Slitherwing.
Oh, so 2 and 2.
Oh, and also technically Wailord.
Rip.
I forgot. Yeah, Wailord exists.
That's Wailord. Okay, I don't know what set Wailord runs. Wailord probably could have been a good option against the Eruption. I'm sure it has a huge HP stat.
Yeah, it's like 160.
It's a whale, dude.
170 or something.
That's what I noticed about the way that they like distribute stats. Like not everything's super consistent.
Yeah, it's 170 HP.
Yeah, HP seems like directly tied to how big they are.
And right. Yeah.
like they can be like the frailest mon conceptually, but it's like if they're big, they have a high HP set. Wigglytuff is a perfect example because it's a balloon. It blows up really
It's not even
big.
that big.
No, but it inflates. So like it inflates like a balloon, but it's still a balloon that just pops because it has no defense.
All right. Does Blissey blow up like a balloon? Are we talking about Blissey inflation
No,
here?
Blissey's just fat. Blissey's got that yolk.
So I imagine your HP stat's pretty high too.
Yeah.
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 Okay, well, sorry. Anyways, I like the trades. I think maybe there could have been something else on the board better. Maybe. I'm not sure.
I think it's a successful consolidation.
Yes, successful trades
of some really shitty mods.
Yeah, there were a bunch of mods that were just kind of, if you're bringing these, you're kind of trolling. Now I don't think there's any Pokemon on the team that is trolling to bring now.
I agree.
Like Regice is kind of Kravitz.
But it's a Terra Captain too, so it's like,
MO.
is it ever 100% trolling to bring your low tier Terra Cap? Like,
I don't
maybe
think so.
Trolling a little bit, but like I think it's
trolling to bring it every
always
game.
valid. Yeah, but I think it's always valid as an option, right?
Yeah,
with the Terra
but
Captain.
that's also just what Kravitz wants to do.
Yeah.
But they didn't necessarily just want to bring Pinchin and Mega Manectric and Registeel up.
Right.
You know, like they have other electrics and steel types anyway.
Or a single.
Yeah, I think that was an effective trade. What else do we see in the trades for Truant week 2? That was it.
Just give me
week
a
2.
name and I'll bring them up.
Okay, Swarm. There was no week 2 trades.
Oh,
in
there weren't any others in Truant.
And yeah, no more in Truant. In Hustle, there were 3 trades. First one we'll look at is Bunhara. Who, it wasn't a big trade. They traded Komala and Morgrim for Ludicolo.
More useful in the rain.
Yeah, and dropping Komala is probably why Trump won.
That is true.
Now that I think about it.
Is there a...
I'm just going to blame it on Bunhara.
Is there a young goose on here? No, there's not.
I think Ludicolo is fine. It's not gonna change too much. Just a couple. I don't know.
Was it less than the? I guess if they had to merge into Ludicolo, I'm just wondering.
I think it was like 3.
You're getting rid of a spinner, but you still have defog on these two.
It's like a pretty bad spinner though.
Yeah, but now you don't have any spin. You only have defog.
That's fine. Maybe. It's
I mean, you're clearing your own hazards every time, and you have a Quillfish Hisui who likes to set hazards.
Yeah, it's okay.
And I don't think it's the end of the
Ludicolo
world.
is fine. It's like not a Terra Captain, so it's less threatening in the rain, but it is actually still pretty good, and it's a ground resist.
To worry about, yeah.
Yeah, it is something. Yeah, like you said, in a certain matchup, I can see it coming to a matchup where specifically grass water kind of owns you.
Yeah.
In the same way that like water pond could own you.
Right. And you have plenty of other water types, so it doesn't have to be your fire resist.
Yep.
Because
it doesn't resist fire.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a water type that doesn't.
Resist fire,
but have to be your.
Yeah, it's more of a ground resist than a water type, honestly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's an upgrade, but you drop a spinner, but the spinner was probably never coming in.
Yeah.
So I think it's fine. Okay, next up in Hustle. Gonna go back to the division. We have Dave Wolf made a couple trades. They dropped Arboliva, Muck, Glalie, and just those 3. Arboliva, Muck, and Glalie. Yeah, regular Glalie for Cyclizar and Tangela. So side grading normal types, I would like to say. Maybe I think Arboliva and Cyclizar are fairly similar. But then he picked up a different grass type with Tangela, which is also bringable. Ended up dropping Muck for that.
I actually would have thought that would have been less, so I guess it does some stuff.
Yeah, Tangela is decent. I think dropping Muck does kind of hurt. Muck is, I think, pretty good. Does he have a grounded poison?
No, he does not have a grounded poison.
So losing your poison type does hurt you, and I do think you're a little bit fairy weak. So dropping Muck hurts you there as well.
Yeah.
But I do think overall getting the speed tier and the spinner with Cyclizar means that Blastoise doesn't have to always spin, and things have to creep more than me and Chao. They're never creeping Zera, let's be real.
Yeah.
I guess they're creeping Dreamtail sometimes.
I'll be a little concerned about maybe having to make some tough decisions like whether or not to bring Cyclozar, because it's an 8-point mon. It's bringable, but it's not a mon that you want to have to bring every time, and you don't have to bring it every time. But if it's checking the box of like the speed tier and also like maybe he's your spinner if you don't want Mega Blastoise to spin, then you could be going to a game with Cyclozar and Gouging Fire, and I don't know, like you're dropping one of your defensive core.
Well, it doesn't
mons.
share any weaknesses with Gouging Fire.
I guess it's neutral. He's neutral to Fairy
and Ice. I think
I guess that's true.
I'm not
It
worried
doesn't overlap.
too much about the Cyclozar. I don't think Tangle is coming very often, but it can against like a Zygarde, for example.
Yeah.
It's more, I think that something between like Mienshao, Blastoise, and Screamtail are the things that are more easily subbed out. And the fact that you can sub one of those three for Cyclozar each game, I think is pretty nice.
Yeah, that's true. Me and Xiao they both regen.
Yeah, like if Mienshao's
Regen
speed
pivots.
doesn't line up very well in a matchup, just
Yeah.
slot in Cyclozar, and you
Yeah.
still have the regen pivot.
I would just worry a little bit. What's his coverage like? I don't think he has a lot.
What, Cyclozar?
Yeah, if he was gonna be.
It's pretty decent actually. It has like grass, ice, fire, ground.
I always thought that he was more like.
More
You know,
linear?
no, I'm thinking of Tatsugiri. I was like,
Oh,
doesn't he,
Tatsugiri's pretty
nasty
linear,
plot? Yeah.
Nasty plot
I
spin.
don't know
think
why
maybe it
I
has
thought
Ice
that.
Beam for coverage. No, Cyclozar has a
Draco.
lot.
Just kind of like
actually.
nasty plots and then Dracos, but it's like all it can
Yeah.
do. And then Surf is strong too.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of. I was like, I don't know. But
Yeah, so I think this is an upgrade in some cases. I think that Tangle is just a worse grass type than Arboliva, but I think that
it's also cheaper.
yeah, it is. I don't think that matters though, because now you're less likely to bring your grass type.
Right.
So matchups where Arboliva is strong. Yeah, grass types where Arboliva is strong means that now you have to bring a Tangela. Makes your strong grass matchups a little bit weaker, but it's not the end of the world. Honestly, Tangle is still fine, and I do think that Cyclozar is good for the team.
What's the max? I guess it'd be 7. A 7-pointer would be the max for the second Terra Cap. What's there?
With Zera, yeah.
I'm wondering if there's a good grass type that would also be a good Terra Captain that
Maybe
you could turn like Hoopa Tangela into, and then have it be
yeah.
like
I don't think you go out of your way too much.
No, but if you're having a problem
rock
that like
Hoopa.
you can't bring Tangela and you need something more consistent, you could bump it back up to something else.
Yeah.
If you combine those two and still keep it as a Terra Captain if you're getting rid of the Hoopa. But I don't know. Maybe he just wants to use the Hoopa too. I don't know.
Yeah, I think dropping Muck maybe is the biggest worry for me though. I think Tangle is fine,
was Muck?
and you still get a normal type for Ghost, so you're fine.
How many points?
Okay, next trade we have Eager 99.
How many points was Muck?
I don't know. Check.
Do they not put it on the trade?
No.
You just trust their math?
I don't think it matters, man.
I'm just curious.
Control F.
That's a Lola. Oh my, how many Mucks are there? It's 3 points. Wow, that's really cheap. What's the third one?
Pretty value.
Muku. I was like, what's the third thing? There's 3 Mucks.
What was the third one?
Pukumuku. It's
Oh,
Muck.
I was like, I can't think of anything that has
No.
Muck in its name.
No, Galarian Muck, dude. Come on, there's a third one. What's the last one?
Okay, Eager 99 is not the last one. There's one more after.
No, leaves at the beginning.
So Eager dropped Meloetta, Decidueye, Hisui, and Rotom Heat. Picked up Alomomola and Buzzwole.
Interesting.
What do you think of that?
Why are
Dropped
there 3
Mellow,
water types?
Decidueye H, Rotom H for Aloe Buzzwole.
Why are there 3 water types? And 2 of them are bulky water types. And you got rid of the was this the team that we were saying like most of this team is pretty bad against fire except Rotom Heat like holds it together.
Yeah, I don't think we
And then
liked
he-
the team.
And then he got rid of
it
Rotom
was
Heat
like
for another
Sandless.
water type.
Yeah, it was Sandless, Terraless Drill in a meta where it's kind of priced to be Sand and Terra. So just a little bit down on points. I do think the
that
Meloetta
was
is something
good.
that was nice to consolidate.
Yeah, and I think we
Rotom,
said that.
I do think Rotom could have stayed,
Yeah,
but maybe you just need the points. And Decidueye, Hisui, I don't really care. You have another grass type.
Yeah.
You have another fighting type now. Not that I think that's the end of the world.
There was some stuff that we were saying like, oh, it's like they help each other out a little bit, but I agree.
Yeah.
Like I think he could go. And I think that I agree that the Meloetta, I think that was one of the ones that we said was like, listen, it looks cool, but also like you could probably turn it into something you need more.
Yeah.
Wait,
Having a psychic resist was nice, and I think it's weird seeing
well, only
adding
if it
like
stays psychic, but
adding a Buzzwole.
oh, is Buzzwole not here?
With
Can you
no
remind me
psychic.
who
No,
was added?
Buzzwole and Aloe were added.
Oh, just those two.
Yeah.
Wait, so Quillfish
Or
and Kingdra were also
Decidueye,
added?
Rotom,
Huh.
and Mellow.
That makes it even weirder. So he added the Aloe, but like didn't get rid of the Quill. I would think that Quillfish might be. I mean, I know he's your grounded poison type too, but like I would think that he would be maybe on the
Maybe like on a Alolan Muck or a Drapion or something to get a Dark type,
Yeah.
so that you keep a Psychic resist, right? Like if you want to keep a Fighting type, I think that's fine.
Yeah.
And I do agree you want to keep a grounded poison. But now you've also lost the Psychic type, or the Psychic resist. Your resists have to be Drill and Mawile, which both of them,
neither of
like
them
we've
want
said
to,
before,
they don't
neither of
have
them want to
recovery.
do. Yeah. Or I guess like AV Electros too. So I think it can
that's-
start to get pretty tough
not
against
resist.
strong Psychic types now too.
Yeah, I would just. I'm surprised that the Quillfish wasn't part of the trade to bring in the Aloe, because I feel like they just inherently like do the same thing, minus the fact that he's a poison type and has like T-spikes and spike, but like just get that on another poison type. Why does he need to be?
Yeah, I feel like
a water
Drapion
type?
is fine here.
Yeah, like
But
yeah,
still,
any
so
poison dark type
I
actually
don't.
seems like a good pickup
Yeah,
for this team.
I don't think it is a bad trade necessarily. I think it's a little bit half-baked, where
Right? Yeah, I think
you can make
they're
another
good
couple
mons
trades
that
and
got brought on.
complete the team now.
100%.
Yeah, like Aloe Buzzwole does give you a nice defensive core. You have double regen now, and you have like Aloe's a crazy good pivot into your Mawile, into your Buzzwole, into your Terrapon. I think these are strong mons to have on the same team as each other. But yeah, it just needs like 2 more changes, and then you're good. And there are still 3 agents left to go. So
Yep. Yeah, I
Not
like
out of
looking at the top of this team
realm.
more now, more than before. I think
Yes.
when it didn't feel as
yeah, although like now you don't have. I mean, you put a little bit more pressure on Torn, because you dropped 2 ground resists to pick up 1 ground resist. And
Yeah,
the
but
double steal. Maybe it's not the end of the world.
I think if it's like a Quake user, at least I think Aloe still kind of like is nice to just.
Yeah.
It's not a resist, but it's
Yeah,
like,
that's fine.
how much is it doing?
Yeah, I think so. Overall, I think
it's
though a
fine.
bit of a side grade / slight upgrade in some cases, downgrade in some cases.
I think it
After
is.
another couple more trades, it'll be an upgrade.
It's an upgrade, but we're only part of the way there. So it's like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
only
yeah.
an upgrade if we do the rest of it. Otherwise, it's a
Yeah.
side grade. But
Okay,
it's-
and final trade for the Hustle Division in week 2. We actually have brother options picking up the Rotom Heat that Eager dropped.
that was in the
So
same
dropping Terra Metagross.
wasn't
picking
the trades
up
also picked up,
Rotom
or was
Heat?
that a different league that you said that?
Nope. It was a different one.
Why don't we talk
Or
about that?
did I say picked up Treads? No,
I thought
he
you
made
said
Treads
somebody-
the Terra Captain. He made Treads the Terra. So maybe he already had it. I don't know. But he dropped Metagross, Terra Metagross.
I thought
pick
we
up
were
Rotom Heat.
talking in chat about somebody who picked up Treads, and then I had asked if that meant that somebody dropped him, and then somebody in chat said that somebody did, but I don't know if that was.
No, you asked if it was open, and I think we said yes, and then I don't know. There was a miscommunication. Regardless,
I'm looking up in the chat.
brother always had Treads, and
Okay, so it would have been a different league.
yeah, he always had Treads,
Division.
but he made it the Terra Captain just now in replacement for the Metagross, and Rotom Heat is now the addition over. Which I agree with. I think you didn't need double steal, even though Metagross is, I think, a really good captain. Treads is a fine
Yeah.
captain, and I think it has the stats to just blanket check a lot of things defensively now. And also just booster speed with an offensive Terra is actually pretty strong. So I do think that's. I don't want to call it an upgrade of Terra Captains, but it's definitely an upgrade dropping the Metagross for something with more utility. You get another Defogger now. Maybe it wasn't necessary to have double electric because you already have Jolteon. But I don't think I that we need to consider Rotom as an electric type. I think we can just consider
Yeah.
it a fire type that doesn't lose the ground types
I think that's
and
usually fair
has Volt Switch.
for
For
Rotoms.
Rotoms in general, I think
Yeah.
that's just not a bad way to assess it. I think overall it's kind of an upgrade.
Yeah.
You do lose a rocker with Metagross, and you lose a lot of setup opportunity with Metagross.
Yeah. I guess you don't really want to be rocking a whole lot on your Terra Treads, but you have Rocks Annihilate if you need it. Treads can do it the rest of the time. I don't.
Yeah, I think if you're running Terra Treads to be like offensive as well,
Yeah.
you don't want to have to be running Spin or Mandy. Like now you can run Mandy or Rotom with Defog.
That's true. I don't
with
think
an offensive Treads.
I don't think Spin's bad on offensive Treads though, because you're still boosting your speed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you
Excadrill
always
in that
have the
sense,
time to
where it's
do
like
it.
he just still just
it's
likes
fine
it.
to run it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as powerful as like Tusk running
No.
Spin, because it doesn't have like the offensive pressure that Tusk does.
I'd be more concerned about trying to fit both Rocks and Spin on the same set, which I think you can alleviate with if you need to run Rocks on Annihilate, or vice versa, where it's like if you just don't run the Spin and then you bring it on.
Yeah, I do still think more often than not it's going to be Terra Jolteon.
Yeah, it's a good lower tier captain. So
it
I
is
agree
actually
with that.
really strong. Yeah.
Where it's like you can just kind of stay the same thing, but still have the threat of it, where it's like it's a bulky mon. So like if you're wrong about the Terra captain for it, and you like need to keep something alive to make sure that you deal with it, and he just never clicks it, like that can control a game pretty well too.
Yeah.
Until the Jolteon has
overall, I like the trade. I do think it's a downgrade specifically for your hazard setting.
Remind me
it's an upgrade for your removal. It was Metagross that was dropped.
Oh, right, Metagross. But was anything else dropped?
Nope, it was just that. No, it was the Terra Captain, and it changed to Dreads, was all.
Okay.
Yeah, downgrade for setters, upgrade for removers.
And did he have a Whisper before?
Kind of a side grade for your Terra Captains.
You didn't have a Wisp. You didn't have Wisp before, so that's a nice addition.
Gardevoir has Wisp.
Okay. Is it good on Mega Gardevoir?
I think it's fine. We saw it clicked in the All-Star game. Remember, it Wisped T-Tar. Mega Guard, yeah.
Yeah, and then T-Tar rested it off, dude, so it sucks.
Oh, so it sucks.
Mega Gardevoir died for nothing.
So
either way. Okay, are you always running it now? I think Rotom is a more reliable, like, hey, gotta respect this option.
I agree. Better utility.
Yeah.
We have 1.5 more trades that are in the All-Star division. The first one, we can just get this out of the way, is Monkey Boy changed his Terra Captain from... Monkey Boy changed his Terra Captain from Aerodactyl to Houndstone. I think it's a downgrade.
It's a point downgrade, but it's a... Does he have sand?
Yeah. No, there's no sand. But I don't think... I think Arrow's pretty good, actually. I think running like a defensive type with... will let you get like double Dragon Dance up sometimes. Like if you Terra Ground...
But he moved from Aerodactyl to Houndstone.
Yes. So this is why I think it's a downgrade, because I think Aerodactyl...
Oh, I thought you were explaining why you don't.
No, this is why Terra Arrow is decent.
Yeah.
Running like Terra Ground to dodge the T-Bolts and then get like multiple Dragon Dances can often win.
Yeah.
Or even just like banded Terra Flying dual Wing Beat is actually, I feel like, pretty strong.
Yeah.
Whereas Houndstone, I feel like, doesn't pop off here.
I would have preferred if it had sand, so it has that option, but it also has Fluffy.
Yeah, it doesn't have to run
with
sand,
Terra can definitely throw some teams for a loop if they're not prepped for it.
Yeah, I agree. I think if I'm prepping for this team, I'm probably not prepping too much for Houndstone now.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
I would have been prepping a lot more for Arrow. Yeah. But I'm not prepping for it partly because I kind of just don't think, even if I don't prep for it, I don't think it can take over games like Arrow can.
I think it just depends on the matchup, which is fine for a 6-point Terra Captain when you have a really good other Terra Captain anyway.
I
see what you mean, where it's like you have to respect the Terra Aerodactyl, but I think that the goal with the Houndstone is to make it so that it is something that's maybe less assuming, and then Terra Fairy Fluffy Houndstone is like walling your best physical option, right? And you just didn't really expect it. And now,
Like walling it and doing what?
I mean, it has 101 attack. It can hit pretty hard. I think it wisps too, actually. It has decent coverage. Play rough. Quake, I'm pretty sure.
No earthquake.
What does it have
Yeah,
for
play
ground?
rough, psychic fangs, dig, bulldoze.
Oh yeah. I don't
Oh, and
think-
it's stomping tantrum, I guess.
No, that's what. Yeah, I knew there was something.
I guess maybe body press is what you're going for.
Yeah, does it have iron
I don't know.
defense?
I don't think it's great. I do think wisp is nice. I guess like trick is nice.
Yeah.
Sneak.
Either way, I don't think it has to be amazing. It's a 6-point Terror Captain, and I think that Aerodactyl could do more, but like you have pretty potent offense otherwise too that they already have to respect, and it might just be a preference thing. I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
maybe just like
it
didn't
might
find
also
many
just be a
times.
matchup thing too.
Yeah.
Maybe this week, like in week 3,
True,
it
yeah,
looks
if he
specifically
doesn't wanna
good
make more
against
changes.
against like impulse. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
sure. Maybe it's the like Terra's a rude answer against impulse, and then he's gonna change it back to Aerodactyl. Who knows?
That might, yeah.
I do kind of personally think it's a downgrade. I don't know what you think about it. I know you kind of think it can do odd things.
I think
but
it's a
would you say
side grade,
grade?
but
Yeah.
objectively probably a downgrade because it's a lower point mon, right? Like I think like it's probably a downgrade, but I just think
Yeah.
I don't think it's that bad. Like I don't think it's that bad of
That's fair.
a change. I think that
Okay,
could
there
just
was
be
one more
entirely personal
trade.
preference.
One more trade in the division. It was Fennec Master, who has now used up all of her trades,
Wow.
and they dropped King Gambit and Screamtail, and picked up Tapu Lele and Snorlax.
Swalot survived the purge.
Yeah,
And
Swalot
there's 3
survived.
points left over. You're telling me that Swalot is better than a 4-point poison type?
Well, she's out of pickups.
Wait, how many
She
did
can't
she
pick
add?
anything up. She only had 2 left.
Oh, did she do free or did she do?
Yeah,
cross
she
trade
made
as well?
3 trades during
The initial
week
okay,
1.
That makes sense then. I was gonna
Yeah.
say like, how does that add up?
Yeah, so Lele and Snorlax. I think Royceman and I chatted a little bit about this in passing about how we like the Lele pickup,
Yeah.
but the Snorlax doesn't seem to add too much. I think it's fine.
It's a
And
ghost
having a
immunity.
spit F option is nice. Yeah, it is a ghost immune
For
for the
Lele.
Lele that you just picked up. I think it's fine. I don't think like you had to
So
do that.
with no free agents left, you also can't change your captains, right?
Right, unless you drop the captain,
Which you can't.
which
Drop.
she didn't. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, at this point, like you wouldn't drop one of these because you're just out 11 points.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like maybe at some point the Snorlax could be a captain if Hydrap's not working out, but it can't because it,
Yeah, this team has to stay the same now, and you can't actually drop anything. 9 months.
yeah. Not that there's any value to it when you can't pick anything up.
I mean, if you were super desperate to change your captain for like
Yeah,
playoff
yeah.
or something,
just to
but,
drop one of those, yeah.
yeah. So I think that's I think Screamtail was nice, but I also think shifting to Lele just kind of changes focus away
Because
from
more
trying to
offense.
play defensively with Corv
Yeah.
and more towards playing offensively. Corv is just going to be the centerpiece now to pivot things.
And actually,
and Rotom.
you like the psychic terrain to also help like bundle who doesn't want to get hit by
Yeah.
priority.
Yeah, and even scale shot chomp too.
Yeah. So I think it's a fine pickup.
Yeah,
for that.
I think it's pretty good. I think
maybe-
overall
maybe
it's a
this one
slight
could've
upgrade.
been- Maybe if you want to, oh, you need to keep this as 2 different mons. So I guess you kind of had to. You couldn't like
Yeah,
work
you
those points
can't.
in at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
unfortunate.
so overall, it's slight upgrade, I would say. I think Corv and Rotom are going to be under a lot more pressure now, and
Yeah.
Chomp is going to have to rock a little bit more often now. But I don't think it's the end of the world. I feel like the Wish pivoting game plan doesn't really suit this team. I
No.
think you can go take it a lot more offensively. So I like the Lele trade, and Snorlax having to be collateral damage for it, I think is completely fine.
Yeah. I wonder what else in the 9-point.
What else
tier
was there like
available.
instead of Snorlax?
Yeah, I'm just curious. Arbalava got added back. Was there a grass type on that team actually? Oh, the Hydro Apple.
Yeah, there's Hydro Apple.
Yeah, the Terra Hydro Apple. There's probably not.
I think it was fine.
Yeah.
There's not too much else that I think is necessary.
Yeah. What's the mega on that team?
Maybe you can go for like
There isn't a
Magnezone.
mega.
I'm so high on Magnezone.
There is no mega on this team.
Hmm.
They could have gotten like Mega Steelix or something. Mega Steelix, Mega Houndoom, Mega Sableye.
With Corv, I don't know. Houndoom is kind of bait. Also, I feel like that's gonna keep dropping in tier every season.
Yeah.
It dropped this
But-
season, and I feel like it is gonna keep doing so.
Wait, is it still Flash Fire when it Mega Evolves?
No, it's solar power.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so if you're
Yeah.
not running Sun, it's not worth it.
It's like fine as a 115 speed attacker.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Mega Absol at that point, right?
No Dark type. Maybe Umbreon would have been better than Snorlax.
Hmm. That's pretty fair, because then you do still have the defensive pivot,
Yeah.
and you keep
And the
a
Wish,
ghost
if you
resist,
want.
and you keep the Wisher, exactly. And you actually just get like another mine too.
It's a Psychic.
Maybe that would have been
Mine.
nice. I think Snorlax is completely fine instead. I
Yeah.
think it's the end of the world.
Yeah.
All good. That is all we had for trades.
Yeah.
Oh, she had a leftover point. How many points are left over for Fenix team?
3 points are left over. That's what. Like,
Oh,
so
so
I
that
was
could have been a
saying-
12-pointer.
Yeah. Oh wait, yeah, for Snorlax. Yeah, I was thinking it's like, oh well, we couldn't do anything with this. Yeah, it could have been. Vaporeon. Actually, who's the water?
There's
type?
probably stuff here. I don't think it's worth speculating too much.
Pex might not have been bad. Because then you don't
Like,
have to rely on the
maybe-
Swalot as your grounded poison, and Bundle's not a real water type. Pex might have
Oh,
been a good
there's no
pickup.
water type? Oh, you didn't even
Besides
realize
Bundle.
that. Yeah,
Like,
you definitely
Bundle
want
is
to
a-
water somewhere.
I think Pex for 12 points, with all those points, would have actually been good. Because then you don't have to ever bring the Swalot. Like, he's already
Yeah.
dead weight, right? Like,
I don't
he's
think
not-
Pex. I don't think Pex leans towards the way that the Screen Tail
Oh.
drop was going.
Yeah, and then with this side terrain, it's probably not ideal either. If you're not able to, like, toxic everything.
I think it definitely has to be a pivot. I think you were maybe on the right track with Vapor.
Yeah, actually, well, when I said Vaporeon at first, I was like, oh yeah, well, surely she has a water type instead.
Yeah, I didn't
and
even
then I was
think
like,
about
wait
that.
a minute, is there a water type? And then I
Yeah.
went,
Maybe that would have been good. Would have let you keep a pivot to help Corv where Screen Tail dropped.
yeah.
Hard to say. I think it's fine.
Hard to
I think
say.
Snorlax maybe just is a Petmon, but I think the Lele's fine.
Maybe.
Or pretty good. But that's
Snorlax
it for
Master.
trades for
That's
week
master.
2. What else did we have planned tonight?
I think that was it because we kind of agreed like the standings aren't super interesting right now. since
Yeah,
it's
there's
just
not
gonna-
too much. Maybe we can just look at like
Yeah.
who is still undefeated.
Just bringing up the front page of all of them. So undefeated,
We can-
quite a few in All Star.
Yeah,
We have 5
I've removed the
undefeated.
week 3 results, so this is
Okay.
just week 2. And yeah, there's 5 undefeated still.
Just out of curiosity, since we're not really analyzing the standings as much, is there anyone that is no longer undefeated?
There's
Since-
only been 2 battles in All Star. Yeah, I guess I'll just
Didn't
spoil. I
Riceman
beat
play?
Zeb. No.
Oh, you
Oh,
beat Zeb.
somebody might have just played just now while we
I
were
thought
streaming.
Riceman played a game.
I beat Zeb, and I think DJ Barrera beat his opponent. I don't remember who it was.
Okay. Maybe if I find.
Oh no, DJ lost to Afonso, so that's -2
Afonso, okay.
undefeateds right away.
So it's just Riceman, Impulse, Jortson.
Yep.
Interesting.
Jortson is playing Overmat this week.
Oh, I thought you
Impulse
could say,
is
like right now. I was like, what?
no this week. Impulse is playing Monkey Boy, and I don't know who Riceman's playing
Where's Riceman?
at the front.
Oh, at the very beginning. Alice,
Alice.
who is 1-1.
I won't spoil Riceman game, but it was crazy. Oh, so Riceman just played.
Oh, it did play. Okay.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to go and watch that as soon as we're done here. Well, maybe I'll make some food first because I'm starving.
A few undefeated in Swarm as well. Same number, I guess, as of week 3 before the games were played.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of these were played as well. But
I know that Skyhops played and is still undefeated.
okay.
Hamburger just played Royce while we were streaming. I checked the result.
And what?
And Royce won.
Royce won. Okay. Matayoshi got executed for saying that he couldn't.
Yeah, Matayoshi's dead.
So he's kind of like he's
He's 2 in infinity.
Yeah. He's 0-1 IRL.
Matayoshi with the negative KD.
Who knows? He might have killed a few people. We don't know. His KD could be better than that. Eager, Bonhara, Max 0-2 is surprising.
Max 0-2 actually is very.
I mean, we did see one of the games, and it was like a close game. But that's still surprising.
Yeah. I mean, we also see Azzy in All-Star Division 0-2.
Where is Azzy? Oh, well, All-Star. Once we split off the higher group, which is basically just like the glorified top 8 anyway, like usually in Hustle. I'm not surprised by any result here until we get maybe a little later on. Anyone is still winless, but I think for now, I don't think anyone being 0-2 in All-Star really says a whole lot because chances are you played a really good player 2 games in a row, right? So
yeah,
exactly. Anything can happen in those 2 games. In
Hustle,
which has had a little bit more like bleed in from Swarm, I would say that I'm a little more surprised that people who were on the fence for like maybe could have been an All-Star to see like those people winless so far, even though it's still early.
And I know we were really excited to see Glittering Atlas start playing too, as Overmat's mentee. He hasn't had the start that we kind of projected.
Did he take a break or anything? Like, was he coming off of a break?
This is his first draft
first
experience.
Time playing in NBA. Oh,
first draft experience. So it's just that he seemed to have a knack for understanding like how to evaluate Pokemon and how to like make teams. And I know that I have maybe a little bit more insider on a pretty daily basis.
Yeah.
Who talks to Atlas pretty often because he's the mentor. Yeah, he was very hopeful for Atlas, and he's like a top, like 100, top 50 kind of deal, like Rambat player, lab player. So he knows how to play the game. It's just
yeah, but that still doesn't surprise me though. If it's your first time drafting, there's definitely just nuances that you have to figure out, and sometimes it's even like rule things where it's like if you just like go into a game and somebody did different research from you because like they know things that you don't about draft, and then you're like, oh, I didn't know that was a thing that people ran. It's like, oh, it's actually pretty common in draft, but maybe not common on ladder, right?
Yeah. Something I do want to touch on though, and then I think we can move on to this division is Glumly has just been on an absolute recently, and he performed really well.
I'm assuming you said on an absolute tear.
On an absolute tear. Yeah. Okay. Sorry,
It's weird. It's just like completely cutting certain words out. So it's like not catching the sensitivity.
The other day, but I'm like, I swear I'm like leaning all the way up to my. Okay, what if I turn off my?
Sometimes it's the cadence too. Like if you switch like tone or volume, and then it just like doesn't pick it up.
Yeah. I don't know. I changed my automatic detection now, so maybe it's a little better.
I usually turn that off. Like it's kind of bad on Discord.
You're
definitely not the first person I've heard where that issue happens. Where just like randomly.
Yeah, I think they've been rolling out this new Discord noise suppression feature, like Crisp or whatever, in the last month or so.
It's been around for like a year, but that's the thing.
I don't know.
That's
I read the FAQ.
Like not good, though.
I read the FAQ because a bunch of my friends had problems with it, and the FAQ was from a month ago, so I thought that's when it was rolled out.
I just posted it.
I don't know. I just changed it. Regardless, Glum's been on a tear, and he performed super well in the PGA in Goder's team league. I teamed with him and Matt.
Was there only one season of that? There was, right?
There was 2 seasons.
There was? Okay, then I only played the first season.
Yeah.
So I was trying to remember. I see that.
Yeah, you played season 1, and then the most recent season, I was paired up with him.
That was the one, okay.
And Matt, and you weren't around.
Were there any mono normal teams in that one?
No.
Because I thought that was the rule.
No. That everybody has to draft mono normal?
Yeah. Well, that's what I did. I thought I thought that's what everyone had to do. So
No.
I thought it was off to a pretty good start, getting all the good normal types.
Yeah.
But
So Glum did get technically promoted from Swarm into the new hustle this season. And it's good to see that it wasn't just a fluke in the PGA having strong record, because now he's at least 2-0. That's a pretty good start.
Glum's always been good. I feel like with Glum, the question has always been how much he cares about a certain game.
That, and I think playoff performance has gotten in his way a lot.
But also, like, that could also be like sometimes you go into playoffs after a long season, you're busy and you don't feel
how motivated
matchup.
are
Like
you
that
really?
can also be like I'm just gonna throw playoffs because I don't care. Like not saying it's just him that does that, but like that's definitely a thing that people do. But
all right, moving on. I guess we didn't really mean to keep talking about this, but it's all good. We see Corey 2-0.
It's fine.
Not surprised. We see Metro 2-0. Good for Metro. There's only 4 people who aren't either undefeated or winless, which is a pretty interesting stat. Yeah, there's 6 people who are 2-0 and 6
very
who are
close
0-2.
in diff, except for Kaga.
Yeah, wow.
But I think Kaga had a really bad first game, right? Didn't he
had a really unfortunate week 1 where he just got 6-0'd by Water Pollen off the bat.
Yeah. So that'll take some recovery.
Yeah.
Keep winning.
It sucks to see a couple of the promotees going 0-2, as in I think
from
everybody except for Kai Guy is 0-2 right now, who just got promoted. We see Fairs, Lethal. Oh no, Fairs finally stayed Swarm. That's right, I forgot.
Fairs was Swarm.
He'd been swapping, but yeah, he finally got to stay. Lethal 0-2, Stormtide 0-2, Kai Guy 1-1. Now Kai Guy was the truant champ. So out of everybody, I would expect him to do the best. But interesting to see the runner-up and the other like strongest player in the division from last season to be.
Well, let's see who they played though. Drix coming fruit. Okay.
Fruit, Drix.
And then who was the other one?
Kai Guy and Lethal.
Well, Kai Guy, we know he won one of them.
Yeah.
And then
beat Resh. I think Resh is pretty good too.
Yeah. Corey and Drix. Yes, I mean like all decent players.
Yeah. Kind of hard to say.
I was just curious if like any of them had played like, you know, maybe the reason that Kai Guy had 1-1 is like if he beat one of those other 2, right? So like somebody was going to be 0-2 at that point.
Yeah, true. No, Resh is the one that Kai Guy beat, and I think they're pretty decent.
Yeah.
They're 1-1 right now. Okay, I don't think there's too much to look at here. Everyone's just kind of figuring out their place. Just interesting to see that it's very polarizing right now. For Truant Division, we do still see, I don't want to say the usual suspects, but we do often see Krabbit and Zethandis with slow starts. And I'm not surprised to see...
Sweets has the Regigigas, though.
True. Not surprised to see Bobo and Tony near the top.
Yeah, Bobo.
I think they've both been proving themselves as of late.
Bobo's one for sure. I mentioned this last week when we talked about it because I had mentioned that he was in playoffs and we had like verify it. But I think he's definitely coming around because he was, I think his first season was 2 or 3, right? Maybe it was 2.
Yeah, he's been around for a few seasons now.
Yeah, but it was always true, and I think that like last season, I personally started seeing like just through doing like some of the replay reviews and then seeing all that stuff. I think he's significantly improved. Like,
I agree.
definitely think he is
100%.
Like, somebody who could move up for sure.
Maybe look at moving up. Yeah. I think
depending on the rest of the season, of course.
Yeah, I do think that Truant is a decent home for him for now.
Yeah,
and I would only bump him up if he kind of felt like it's a challenge that he wanted to take on.
Yeah,
I don't think he's out of place in the Truant division. I think he is still kind of gaining his feet, or getting on his feet in like just in Pokemon in general. I think the way that he started playing competitive Pokemon was through the Truant division.
Yeah.
So I don't have a problem with keeping him around for much longer. Same with Tony. I think Tony's really been proving himself. Mm-hmm. But kind of up to what they want to do, unless they completely blow out the competition.
Right, and that would be
I don't think
my
necessarily
concern.
will be the case.
If it depends on the rest of the season. Bobo, at least for me, is making me think about like, you know, somebody who's now going to be like very tenured playing the game in a division with people who maybe never drafted or like did whatever. That could be a pretty big disparity if that is the case, right? Where it's like you're just playing someone who maybe they're more comfortable in Truant, but also like they just have so much more history and knowledge of it just because they've been here for a while. That's why I'd be curious. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he took that next step, because I think that as a player he has evolved to the point where he could do that. But we have yet to see. I mean, we got to see the rest of the season, right? Before we know.
Yeah.
But he's just always been engaged in like other people's games and stuff too. So that's like that kind of player to me like seems as someone who would like be absorbing a lot more knowledge than maybe somebody who just kind of comes in, plays their game, doesn't really do anything else.
Yeah, I do think that's a pretty decent spot to stop. Oh, right when Alice got here, everybody run. What are we watching?
God.
We were
That
just
means we're
talking
in British
about
time
we wrapped up
so
talk about the trades that were made week 2, and we were checking out the current standing, well, the week 2 standings.
Yeah.
Alice, it's cool. You came just in time because we definitely did redacted watch your game on stream.
No, we didn't.
We did redacted. Redacted maybe not. Redacted maybe.
Redacted
not.
like is supposed to go in the place of another word. You don't say it before a sentence.
No, redacted is taking over the word not.
Oh.
We did redacted review your game. Anyways.
That sounds a little misleading.
It's pretty hard to crack jokes with you around, buddy.
Yeah, you're
but maybe it's just a little too highbrow.
Maybe
I'm just too smart for the community. You know, it's
you and your tricky ways.
It's high humor. You wouldn't get it.
You're just trying to bypass telling the truth, I think.
Okay. Well,
redacted is not what, DJ? What is it? What is it not?
Oh God.
You got something to say about redacted now?
He's going off again. Well, we got to get out of here before Matayoshi turns his KD from 0-1 to 2-1.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Yeah, before he finds us. We got to erase our...
And we got to go watch the Rice Man replay that apparently...
Yeah.
happened. And you got to go eat.
Yeah, dude, I am starving.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I know, let's see, who do we have here? Alex did join at the end. We've had DJ around, Skyhops, Matayoshi. You guys have stuck around from the beginning. Lethal's around. I think Eliana is Metro, but I'm not super sure. We had Martin, Metro, Royce,
signed in on the Google account.
Leezy, Dre, Stormtide, Azzy, Dre again. Kai Guy stopped in. Corey was around at the beginning. Yeah, he said, have a good stream, gents. Thanks, brother. I hope if you're streaming tonight, you also have a good stream. Yeah, so thanks everybody for tuning in. And we'll see you again next week. I think the plan right now is Wednesday. I'll be out of town Thursday, so Wednesday's probably looking like the plan for me. But we'll keep you up to date and we'll make an announcement. And yeah, have a redacted night.
Have a redacted night.